All right, here we go. Michigan 83, Michigan State 71. I think the longest recap in channel history was the Purdue Illinois Classic game a week ago that went 2 hours and 15 minutes. I can't imagine this exceeds that. And quite frankly, I don't think this was as good of a basketball game as that. So I think that's why that one went longer. There's a lot to talk about, and we will talk about it all. My team won, Cart's team lost, and a bunch of shit happened in between. We'll break it all down. But first, this video is brought to you by Tamper Coffee. Oh, whoops, sorry, it's Tinker Coffee. It's not, sorry, Tamper is what we're being accused of, even though it's the thing like all good coaches are doing right now. Tinker Coffee, Indianapolis based, Midwest finest. Promo code Sleepers get 15% off your first order at Tinker Coffee. Cart, tell them more.
Listen, I don't do anything in the morning until I have my fresh, hot, piping, smelling great cup of Tinker coffee. I need to make sure it's in my household at all times, preferably the Zing blend. I'm a simple guy. I don't like, I'm a creature of habit and routine, and I need my Zing. I need it. So if you want to be like that as well, you can set up a recurring order, right? You get an extra 25% off when you set up that recurring order, and you can make sure you always have Tinker in your household. I'm very excited to hopefully reveal some things that we're going to be doing with Tinker now at the Final Four. Great company, great people, very big fans, and also very good coffee. It's a great partnership. I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, and I like to sit in my kitchen with my leg crossed, lean back, with my cup of Tinker in one hand and a big old grin on my face as I start my morning, much like Dusty May sat on the Michigan bench with the Izzone behind him and a big old grin on his face. Listen, folks, I'm not going to be this insufferable this whole time. I swear to God. There might be points that in this recap are humorous in nature and or Michigan State fans disagree with, but I just wanted to get that out of my system to start. The full episode of the Sleepers podcast on Monday has plenty more of that sarcastic natured Michigan fan in me. I'm ready for the rest of this video to talk about what we saw in this game. And I do think there was a lot. Yaxel Lendeborg was brilliant in one of the quietest 26 and 12 performances I've ever seen from a player. I thought Elliot Cadau's composure and performance and production was marvelous. Thought Michigan's front court just flat out dominated, one of the best front courts in America. And I thought Michigan kid Trey McKenna may have made the biggest difference in terms of just shot making and sort of keeping Michigan afloat when they needed big clutch shots late in the shot clock. On the Michigan State side, there was a lot of frustrating performances individually. There were also good things. I think this was Jeremy Fears' most productive game of his career. I don't know how you could even argue that he's had a more productive game. I think Jackson Kohler, you could tell his legs gave out late in the game. And before that, though, I thought he battled. I thought Cohen Carr was productive, 10 and 7 in 34 minutes. Even Jordan Scott flying around doing some nice things for a freshman. Sometimes you learn about your young players in games like this. And I think we learned something about how Jordan Scott is wired that is going to lead to him in the starting lineup sooner rather than later. Very quick handshake line at the end. We'll get to it as well. I feel like I'm just doing like the spark notes on all of this. But in between it all, there was chippiness and there was some extracurriculars and there was kind of Michigan's talent in the first half that was overwhelming, and then Michigan State's toughness in the second half that was overwhelming. Narratively, honestly, this was a great summary, I think, of who these two teams are. And it
Mm.
made for a total coin flip game with 8 minutes left where you didn't know what was going to happen. So let's start with this. If I asked you from all that I kind of just laid out, those are all things we'll speak to at some point in this video. If I asked you to pull out three of them, and define for me the three things in like 1 to 3 words or less. It was this, this, and this that was the story of this basketball game. What are the three things?
Ooh, three things about this game. Uh, I think Michigan State, or sorry, not Michigan State, Michigan on the glass. I think that's the first thing. Like maybe you could like put the front court into that as well. But yeah, they were. I thought that Michigan's front court, like Yaxel, Merez, Mara, were just really, really good on the glass. And I thought that Cooper and Kohler would be able to hang with them. They were not able to hang with them at all in this basketball game. So I would say front court slash rebounding from Michigan. I would say Let's see. Only three, right?
Yeah, I'm almost looking at it from like, hey, I didn't watch this game. What happened? Give me the three things. Quick,
Oh,
high level. What is it?
okay.
Like Michigan's front court outplayed Michigan State's.
Michigan's front court outplayed Michigan State.
Then
Uh,
two, then three.
Last 4 minutes, winning time. Elliot Cadau made every single play for Michigan, whether it was scoring or passing. And let's see. Third,
Michigan State couldn't hit a shot.
Michigan State couldn't hit a shot. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Think that's a fair way to put it. They shot 4 for 23 from three, 17%. Think you can debate how much of that was forced versus unforced, and we'll probably debate that in a few short minutes. But yeah, okay, from a high level standpoint, just to know where you and I are both individually mentally headed on this, feels like we're pretty aligned on what we saw in this game. Let's just dive right into it. We normally try to do the winning team first on this, and I guess that's the way we'll kind of go down the list with Michigan. Um, Front court first. Yaxel gets the Ken Palm MVP. He had the loudest numbers. He played the most minutes from a Michigan perspective, 35 of them, which I believe is, I want to say that's a season high. No, he played 37 against Maryland where they really needed him. So, I've kind of speculated, Cart. There's a thing with Yaxel where he's really great, obviously. He kind of floats and comes and goes. And, I've talked about how his usage rate isn't even really all that high. When people ask me, like, oh, did Michigan peak too early? Like, what could happen next? My answer has always been there's a version of this team that features Matt Yaxel more predominantly than they do. And maybe they do that in March, and we don't know
Mhm.
what that even looks like. I'm not saying that's what's happened in this game because I still don't think it was like deliberate, let's feature Yaxel. Everything he gets is just within the flow of his natural ability. But I will say this, when Michigan has needed it, obviously they needed it in this game. They've played him 35 plus minutes.
Mhm.
I think that's a little preview of what you're going to see in the NCAA tournament. It's like the depth on this Michigan team is obviously great. It's a huge part of what makes it great. But Dusty's not really afraid to like take the Porsche out the garage when needed. And I thought in this game, Yaxel was just your biggest singular problem to deal with. What'd you see from him?
Yeah, and like for Yaxel, for me too, as I was watching it, it was like a very quiet, like 20, was it 26 and 13?
It's a
26, 12?
silent 26 and 12, six offensive rebounds, two blocks, and a steal.
Right. And I,
It's
I
like
and I
it,
really didn't think he even did anything necessarily crazy. That's the thing, and that's not even to take away from what he did. But I thought he was incredible on the glass. You pointed out the six offensive rebounds. I thought he was timely with all his buckets. He only hit 1 3 in this basketball game, so the 3-point shot still isn't like necessarily there, given his I think everyone made it known what he shot the past month.
I thought it was really big that the one he made was his first one, though. And
Yeah.
honestly, that may have mentally helped propel him forward to all the other things he does special.
Mhm.
But because that first one, honestly, the one he hit was like deep and end of the
Yeah.
shot clock and not exactly wide open. That was huge to me.
Yeah, and he was a monster on the glass, man. Like he had more offensive rebounds than Coop had defensive or total rebounds.
Now that you've seen him, obviously you've watched Michigan games, but I think the thing that is fun, obviously after a win, but telling even after losses like last year, you don't really know what you got with guys
Hmm.
until you play Michigan State. Like if you're a Michigan player, and I'm not doing play somebody, I think they've played good teams, but you don't really know like what is this until you see how do they react to the physicality and the culture and everything you guys do defensively. And I think last year, to an extent, we learned a lot about guys like Trey Donaldson and Vlad and Danny in those games. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
they're very good. They're not ready for this. And I think Yaxel's just the opposite. Because again, this was not a loud performance necessarily, but it almost sounds just idiotic to sit here after 26 and 12 and a Ken Palm MVP and be like, oh, it was quiet. Like his fingerprints were all over this game. I do want to ask you this. Again, I know you've watched as many Michigan games almost as I have. Just after seeing him on the court with your guys, does it sort of change the way you view him at all in terms of like what Michigan has come March and for the rest of the season, or no?
I just think that against Michigan State's front court wings, like we think Cohen Carr is athletic, but like Yaxel's big and athletic. Like he's 6'9", 6'10", and athletic. And um to me, like it wasn't even crazy skill stuff for him. And that's not to even take away. I'm not even trying to take away from what he did, but like he was just to me physically and athletically on a different level than anything Michigan State had in this game. And I thought that led to a lot of him getting to the free throw line as well. Like he was even on the defensive end, like we were trying to do step back threes and like Yaxel was just blocking them. And we thought we had an open shot, we didn't. Or we were pump faking and thought he would jump and then he wouldn't jump. So, I just thought that he physically and athletically asserted himself in this basketball game.
Yeah. I look back to the players era games, and I'm not saying that this version of Michigan against Michigan State was players era Michigan. In fact, do you think it was? I don't think it
No,
was.
no. I mean, y'all were what 8 for 21 from three. You weren't necessarily great, or at least as good as y'all typically are from 2 point range.
Right.
Like it wasn't really that great of a performance.
Like I thought Michigan played really well, and I thought we learned a lot about their toughness and composure and mentals and all that is making me believe this team can win it all. But yeah, this was not like even the 16-point lead at half. It was not like, oh my God, they're blitzing these dudes. It was like
Mm.
everything had to be worked for, and it wasn't necessarily easy. Um,
The defense was crazy in that 16-point run.
the defense was crazy, and that's probably the biggest, loudest story of the game more than even anything individually. I think Yaxel was maybe the biggest part, him and Merez, of what was working defensively for Michigan, but
Mara too.
Mara too. It just here's all I would say. I know we've had a lot of conversations on Yaxel throughout the year, and like the why is he going through the motions? Oh, he had a quiet game. Oh, his jumper fell apart. Is he hurt? Is he not? This is three Ken Palm MVPs in the last 4 games in the middle of a quote unquote slump. Right? He can't shoot at all right now. He's still shooting Cohen Carr numbers in conference play. He's been the Ken Palm MVP in 3 of the last 4 games, and they've lost 1 game this whole season. Like, I just think we've almost, and I speak for myself here, almost taken him for granted. And this is kind of like the awakening call for me. He doesn't have to shoot 40% from three. If he does, great. I don't know how you beat this team if that happens. But he's just, I think in the preseason off a couple exhibition games, there was one, I remember it. There was one video I got called crazy for. The way he impacts a game reminds me of Cooper Flag. And he's not Cooper Flag. He's not going to the league and scoring 50 ever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in his ability to like subtly dominate, it reminds me of watching Duke last year, where you would look up and all of a sudden Cooper Flag has 28 and you don't even remember a specific play. It's just like that dude is more athletic and more gifted and is getting stops and switching 1 through 5 and flying on the break and dunking on you. And
Yeah.
like that's how he dominated this game. And honestly, again, it's seeing how dominant he was against a team as good as Michigan State that is the wake up call. You and I spent the entire week leading up to this joking about, not even joking, it was part joke, part not, but how tough y'all are. And
Mm.
that's the whole approach is we're tougher than you. And Michigan's just like, oh, well, I'm Yaxel and I'm talented.
Yeah.
Like, that's essentially what he did. And he's like, oh, 26 and 12, who cares? Ho hum. Like,
Yeah. But also, like to that point though, it wasn't. It was like What was the game before? Was it Wisconsin?
yeah. No,
Like he was.
Nebraska. Nebraska.
Sorry, Nebraska. My bad. Nebraska. And he was just like he was floating, right? He was floating. He looked a little bit like kind of disengaged or whatever. To your point, I think you brought it up when we were texting about it. He just might have some like, oh, this is a big game. Let me go ahead and do this, like flip the switch a little bit. Because like I said, I couldn't remember the last time that I saw him rebound to like it's been a while since I feel like I've seen him rebound to that level. Like he was incredible on the glass. Truly.
Yeah.
Like couldn't box him out. Um by the way, Cam Ward's hook and hold lost this game. I truthfully believe that. But yeah, he was dominant in this game quietly. Just by his defense, rebounding, And then also like he was just faster, quicker athletically to where he was getting fouled basically
Well, and I think
or scoring.
there are certain guys. I remember this was a talking point, and I almost hate that I'm comparing him to all these really special guys because I don't want to necessarily, but it reminds me of the way we had the conversation after Michigan State lost to Duke of do you need to antagonize Cam Boozer? Is this the guy you really want to make it everyone against him with? And I'm not like there weren't fuck you Yaxel chants going around. I'm not saying that, but there were targeted plays, it seemed, from Fears toward him in a variety of ways. There were, as you mentioned, the hook and hold. Like there was a lot going on that I think you could point to that felt like maybe it woke Yaxel up. And I think coming into the game, you and I both would have agreed it was part of the bit we were doing. You might be able to do that to Yaxel.
Mhm.
I think we learned something about that from him in this game. Like, do you want to wake him up? Probably not, maybe. I don't know. And you kind of framed it as like maybe he's just a big game guy. They made this a very big game as far as Yaxel Lendeborg is concerned as soon as the game tipped, you know?
Yeah. No, truthfully I think it was quiet, but it was just impactful on both ends of the floor.
We also speculated what happens when Cohen and Yaxel jump with each other. And I was like, be prepared. They're going to jump one way or the other. It's going to happen. Wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be one way or the other.
My main takeaway from that was one, piss Cohen didn't finish that one oop, and two, that Yaxel helped up Cohen after that one.
Yeah, but isn't that right on brand with our emotional scout of this? It's like
Like try to do that, but we're just like, oh, I want to eat your face. I'll help you up.
Michigan State's literally just like, fuck you, we hate you, we're trying to kill you. And then Yaxel just like, oh, my bad, dog. Like, which I
Back it
do.
up.
And by the way, like for the guy that had 26 and 12 to just be wired like that, to take all the extra shit and do that, I think is a big part of what this game was. I really do. And
Sure.
there are lesser people, both him and Cadau included, that I think lose their minds at the Breslin. Somehow, some way, Michigan did not. Do we want to do composure stuff
I
next?
was just gonna say, like, I feel like composure was a made like you talked about the three things that high level of this game. Your guys' composure is definitely up there.
Is it fair to say Michigan was the more composed team? It really feels that way to me.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I'm
Probably, yeah.
not saying Michigan State like was all over the place in that regard, but just like in the sense of the moment,
Hmm.
I don't think the moment ever got to Michigan,
Yeah,
which is something that has not been true for 5+ years.
yeah,
I mean, pregame to tip off to Michigan jumps on them early. It was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, I think they did a good job taking the crowd out of it early. But even then, you think to the second half, like, ultimately, Michigan State does make this amazing run.
mhm,
And I'm sitting there with 8 minutes left. Like, Michigan looks up after the amazing start. They're down two.
mhm.
It's like this has to overwhelm them.
And then Cheddar banged that three.
And it's like vets and role players kind of just steadied the ship, and then the stars got back into it late. I guess all I'm saying is I for sure thought losing composure was going to factor into this game, and it didn't. From a lot of guys who have been criticized for not being great in that regard.
Yeah, I definitely think that there, especially given, the fact that there was a lot of moments where I guess you say they're more, there's a lot of moments that they could have lost their composure,
Yeah.
and they didn't.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
even
that's kind of
even as they blow the 16-point lead, it wasn't like a loss of composure. It was just Michigan State making a run. They still stayed composed throughout, even when it's the last 4 minutes and it's a one possession game. You basically got a bunch of guys making plays and staying within themselves, and Michigan did it every time.
yeah. And again, just kind of going individually through. I think you could say Mara lost it a little bit but that was again more basketball related than like he wasn't ready.
Mm.
I think Gale was all over the place, and he's another guy you can question. There are a lot of guys on this Michigan team that, for one reason or another, you can point to either stretches of their career or just profile wise questions on their own mentals. Overwhelmingly so, the entire group got an A plus on that in this game. Yaxel was amazing and never came off the floor. I thought Cadau really maybe had 1 to 2 moments where fears got to him at all.
Is that his best game in a Michigan uniform?
He's had some louder stat lines, but I think, yes, in terms of how he handled it all, I have a hard time saying there's been anything better than that.
Yeah, felt like that.
And then the late game stuff too, right? Really clutch. And
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it really did turn into Cadau versus Fears. And you look up and you think about it again. We'll get to the Fears stuff. There's a whole lot to get to. I could do 2 whole hours on what I saw from Fears in this game. But between the antagonizing villain shit, and then also you look up and if there's a jumbotron at Breslin with stats, you see 31-9.
Mm.
Like that was Fears' loudest game of his career. In a lot of ways, a brilliant game. And Cadau just kept punching back.
Right.
Like it's crazy to me. I would not have expected that. I know I texted you this a little bit. Believe it or not, if you're in our Discord, we were involved in a bunch of active trolling of each other with all of our fans. And then the game ends, and believe it or not, you and I had like a 45-minute text discussion of just like, okay, let's actually talk what we saw.
Mm.
One of the things I sent you was that this was the identical stat line for Cadau that he had in Maui against Fears last year. 17 points, 6 assists. That was a loss, and he missed the game winner, obviously, in the clutch. But I think I mentioned it in the preview, and I think it was a real part of this game. Pretty much everyone in a Michigan uniform had seen Michigan State before,
Mm.
except for Yaxel.
Mm.
And I think that mattered. Like for Cadau specifically, he knew what he was walking into with Fears because he had dealt with it before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I think also you see too, same stat line, better team, better coach. You see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Did you have like the same everything? Like, was it the same exact stat line?
I don't think he hit 3 threes last year, but I could be wrong. I just know points and assists were identical to what he had in Maui against State last year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Actually did pretty soon. I'm looking at it right now. 17-6 last year in Maui. He was 2 for 4 from three. 3 rebounds and 4 turnovers.
Yeah, so he had better game this one. God, what he had 2 turnovers in this game?
All he did was cut the turnovers by 2. Everything else was identical.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. But I mean, look, they're gonna see each other again, and I may eat my words on this in a variety of ways. But for however many more times Jeremy Fears and Elliot Cadau face off, in terms of the scout and the profile, I'm not gonna doubt Elliot Cadau will have success again. I mean, I think the whole scout on this was Cadau's gonna lose his mind.
Mm.
Hell no, he did not. And
Yeah.
is this kind of? I know we've given him flowers throughout the season. But I do still feel like there's a lot of people out there that have watched less Michigan than you and I have this year that won't take this team seriously as a national championship contender because of Elliot Cadau. It's like, okay, great. The front court is what it is. You still have to get Cadau in March. In
Mm.
fact, I think I could be wrong on this. I don't want to misquote him. I'm pretty sure I saw a Jordan Stocks quote on that,
Mm-hmm.
even in this game.
Mm-hmm.
This is the game for me that makes me kill that concern. Why would I not trust that guy to go win NCAA tournament games for me with what he was able to do holding up against a great Jeremy Fears game?
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to. The only thing I would point to if I had to play the other side of it is that, I mean, it's like any other player though. Any player is capable of having a bad game, right? Like that can happen.
Yeah.
That can happen. So like, maybe it's like not a. Maybe you just need to reframe it from the whole like I don't trust it thing. Like guys can have bad games. That can happen. Like the game before against Nebraska, y'all won. Cadeau was terrible.
I just wouldn't single Cadau out from the rest of the team. It's like, oh, they can lose if Yaxel has a bad game. They
Mhm.
can lose if Merez had like, yeah, if our team plays bad, we'll lose.
Right.
I think up until this game, it's been fair to me to be like, I don't want to trust an Elliot Cadau team in March.
Hmm.
Coming out of this game, I'm like excited to see what Elliot Cadau does in March. I can't believe I'm saying that, but
I trust an Elliot Cadau team that is good.
yeah,
Yeah, like I'm not gonna trust Elliot Cadau when the center's Jalen Washington. I for
right,
sure trust him when he's next to Yaxel and Merez and those guys
right. And that's yeah, year one, they're a one seed, they make a Sweet 16 with a 17-year-old Elliot Cadau starting a point guard
who's
because
doing that, who's once again Dusty, way better coach. Like that was I text you about this, a massive part of this game. There was a moment like I think uh Cadeau like did like a bounce pass at Mara's knees, turned it over. I think Fears goes down and maybe gets a layup or an and one or something like that. And he took Cadeau out. And then he put him back in. And then from
oh
that moment
oh
on,
oh
what?
oh, he took my bad. You meant Dusty took him out.
Yeah.
Sorry. I heard fears and took him out in the same
Oh,
sense, and I sorry, my brain's not fully there yet. Continue. I'm my bad.
no, we'll make it happen eventually. But yeah, he comes back in and he basically, to me, last 4 minutes won him the game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Down the stretch of this game, it was tied, I think, with 7 or 6 minutes left,
Yeah.
and Michigan scored on 9 straight possessions. That's closing time. And if you're wondering, like, I forget, I think Eric Shapiro maybe did a film cut up of this. Joe Jackson too. If you watch it, I mean, it's all Cadeau. All of those possessions in crunch time were basically Cadeau decisions. And Merez was the beneficiary on the dunk. Yaxel had a couple big moments. So but it all comes back to him. And I do think it's kind of crazy to sit here and look at it because I spent all summer complaining about him.
Mhm.
I can't believe this is what Dusty May has turned that guy into. And more importantly, I can't believe I like it. I can't believe I like watching it, but that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
The front court, Merez and Mara, I would say, were dominant defensively in various ways. I also think this game is a really good example why I personally am so adamant that this is a Merez driven team and not a Mara driven team. I know you have felt the same with me on that. And
Mhm.
there are a lot of people much smarter than you and I in the world that will tell you Mara is what makes this team special.
Mhm.
I think if there was one guy that Michigan State exploited in a variety of ways in this game, it was Mara. Mara finished 4 for 12 from the floor with 8 points and 5 rebounds and 3 blocks and 2 turnovers to 1 assist in 21 minutes. That is not bad by any means. His rim protection was very real.
Mhm.
He made it impossible for Carson Cooper to get going in this game. Like there was still a lot of really good Mara, including some ridiculous full court passes
Yeah.
that only he can make, that no one else in the country can. Like I'm not taking anything away from him. He's special, but he was minus 16 in 21 minutes.
Yeah.
The entire stretch of Michigan State finding success in this game in both halves came with Adimar on the floor. And I don't think that's a coincidence at all. I think this, to me, has been a consistent theme where good coaches in this league are able to scheme around Mara's weaknesses and his uncomfortabilities, both offensively and defensively. In this game, Michigan State just forced him to score one on one. Even though he had a huge size advantage, that's not his game. So
Mhm.
he ends up 4 for 12 over Carson Cooper. At the same time, he helped a lot in certain ways. Merez, this was a masterpiece for me. I mean, he only finishes with 4 rebounds, and you can nitpick that if you want. But so many toughness moments, so many loud, just felt like he was punking guys moments. I thought Merez deserves 90% of the credit for Jackson Kohler going 4 for 13.
Mhm.
I mean, Jax so many times was either hesitant to shoot or had a hand in his face because Merez was able to get out and guard him.
Yeah, just to speak on that too, I think, and I think we talked very highly about Jax this year and his game and what he can do. Merez is his worst nightmare on the defensive end because he can get out on his three. He has the length, the quickness to get out on the three. And Jax was doing the whole pump fake or try to go past something. He's not quick enough. It did not work. And that's credit to what Merez can do physically and defensively. That dude's just good, man. And he didn't even have a loud game either. But like also when it came down to, he had the biggest moment of the game. He was good defensively the whole game, but offensively. I think back to it like, I see Cooper catch it in the paint and he tries to do a shot and it doesn't work out at all. Merez catches it and puts it all on Cooper's head. Like
That
it's
dunk,
just
that dunk in that moment was insane.
it hurt me.
It also like it didn't even look like it was there. You know
No,
what I mean?
no.
That was like a poster that happened in a split second from an angle that did not even look like it should have been a layup.
Right.
Like
I thought Coop got there. I was like, oh, Coop's about to send this or foul him.
it's just an amazing play from Merez, man. And I look, this is not to shit on Kohler. In fact, I think when we flip to the Michigan State side of this and go player by player, I'm actually going to come pretty loudly to Kohler's defense to any Michigan State fans that didn't love how he played in this game. Um, Merez finished with 12 and 4 to Kohler's 12 and 5. And we're coming on a recap talking about, well, there was nothing Kohler could do. Production wise, he arguably outplayed him. But he
Big difference between 4 for 7 and 4 for 13.
right, but you're right. Efficiency, of course. I'm just
Yeah,
doing counting stats here.
yeah,
I wanted to like dawn on people here how special Merez has to be in terms of little things, shit that he does for like a guy that only had 12 and 4 to feel like he dominated the game.
yeah.
It's almost the inverse of Yaxel, where it's like we look up and Yaxel has 26 and 12. What? How? Like I almost felt like Merez had 30 and 15 in this game, and he
Mhm.
didn't, you know?
Yeah.
It also back to framing everything through like you learn about guys when they play Michigan State. If you're in a Michigan uniform, you learn what you got. Man, I got a Michigan State center from 2008. That's what I got. This guy belongs next to Draymond Green. This guy belongs with Adrian Payne and Keith Appling and all those. Like that's just what this guy is. This guy is a prototypical Michigan State Spartan dog woof woof monster.
Yeah.
And Michigan, I can count on literally one hand how many of those I've had in my 32 years of existence. That is not what this program does until
Yeah.
this year. And it's just jarring to feel for the first time in my life like I had the more physical front court in a game.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Brad Underwood.
Crazy. Also, a couple things. Merez, I'm mad at you. If this makes its way to Merez Sr., please share this with your son. You know, it's my center. I'm your biggest fans. Love you. Uh, Shoot the three, dog. Shoot the three, big dog. 0 attempts is unacceptable in a game like this. In our highest leverage games, I need you doing the things Illinois said you couldn't do. Merez, you can. Big dog, you can. You're an elite shoot. You're 4 for 4 from the line in this game. When we're in crunch time in a close game against our rival in the most hostile place we play, we're giving the ball to you to ice the game at the line because you're our best free throw shooter. Merez, my dog, let him fly, baby. But you can poster Carson Cooper anytime. Just step out and shoot it. I need more. I love this kid. His shooting is actually remarkable. Like, Card, I'm convinced he can shoot.
I think you should try.
I, I get what you're doing. He's 80% from the line this year on like really high volume.
I, I think I would please more threes, Merez.
Shooting 42% from three this year.
I'm please,
I just
please.
he wasn't even a free throw shooter last year.
Yeah.
Like you watch him go to the line, I'm like, I think it's automatic every time right now.
Yeah, Merez is good. Merez is nasty.
Kind of feels like Isaiah Stewart to me. Like the progression he made as a shooter too, where it's like
I
tough
like that.
guy center into more has to step out a little bit.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that comp a lot.
Okay. What about Mara?
He's just like so singular. I feel like you have I feel like Merez, like you got like a lot of talented guys. Mara is always going to be 7'3" and can do things passing and just a defensive mod. It's just like as a team that struggles to make shots from 2-point range and struggles to make shots in general, it's really tough when you have a 7'3" guy down there who either blocks it or alters everything.
Yeah, he basically just took Coop out of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
I mean, and you know what? Once again, like, too, not to jump to the Michigan State side of things, but defensively, like, this is the perfect game. Like, just drop. If you're Mara, just play drop. Like, no one's gonna come off and shoot it. Like, they have to go onto the hoop, and
yeah.
they're not gonna make it at the hoop.
Well, I feel like I'm tooting our own horn a little bit. I'm tooting right now, Cart. I feel like we got a lot of things right in the scout of this general game. It
Mhm.
was a defensive gauntlet. I think both defenses largely played very well. Any runs that were made in this game to me happened mostly in transition. It's not like
Mhm.
either half court offense really got cooking until the final 3 minutes when it became a game of execution and Michigan was great. But before then, I think both defenses lived up to this. Um, the way Michigan plays and the scheme and everything they do was just a perfect matchup against Michigan State for them. And maybe that'll change. Obviously, Michigan State didn't shoot well, but I come off this game just in terms of personnel stuff. Like, couldn't they play 100 games against Cooper and Kohler, and it's gonna look like this 90 of the 100?
Like how the game played out.
Like, I think there are certain things Michigan State could have done. The front court performances to me not likely to change no matter where the game is played or like we're talking Mara against Carson Cooper.
Hmm.
I don't think there's ever going to be a moment where Carson Cooper's finishing around the rim arrives with a 7'3" guy there.
Hmm.
I just think that is what it is. I think it's like asking it just is what it is. It's a personnel thing. And could Kohler have played better? Yeah, we'll talk about it. But like again, like you said, he cannot get around Merez.
Hmm.
You just can't. And if he's going to be asked to, like you're asking both these guys, mind you, Kohler played 36 minutes. Michigan's just deeper. And like when you have to battle Merez and Mara and Yaxel on the boards for 34 minutes, like don't think it's a coincidence your jumpers are coming up short late.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Do you agree with me there? Like in terms of just big picture stuff, I think Michigan State can absolutely beat Michigan when they play again, even in Ann Arbor. Don't think it's going to be because like Kohler and Cooper ever win that battle.
Yeah, no, like, do I think those guys can play better? Yeah. Um, I think yeah, I think I'd go there. Like, is Yaxel in that? Like, is Yaxel, because I don't think Yaxel's doing this every time.
Um, that's fair. I don't think there's much resistance to Axel. Not when Merez is taken by Kohler and like you're asking Colin Carr to keep Yaxel off the boards. Of course you get this.
That's true. That's true. Even though Cone was good on the glass in this game.
He was. He was battling. He was
Yeah.
battling. But
Which
like
I
it's
I needed some more battle from other guys on the glass.
for sure.
Like Coops. And look, I'll give him a little bit of a break because you know what I'm saying, he had the foul trouble in the first half. I guess I mean, he played 9 minutes in the first half, but like just he's better than that. I'm not saying he's like gonna completely win the match. I just think he's better than 6-2 against this front court.
I mean, obviously anyone is better than that. Like I'm not trying to sit here and act like he couldn't have 8-4 next game. But like we're used to seeing dominant performances, right? Like the story of most Michigan State games coming out of them is like your front court dominates. I think the lesson learned here, and it's something that is not just Michigan specific, if in the NCAA tournament, Florida shows up. I think Condon, Chinyelu, and Howe looks exactly like this.
Mm.
I don't think Carson Cooper has an answer for a 7'2" NBA player. Not when there's also a 7-footer at the 4 and a 6'10" guy at the 3. Like, that's just a personnel issue for this Michigan State team that is amazing at, I think, bullying people their own size or smaller, right? Like, that's the whole thing is physicality. If
Mm,
the physicality just doesn't work, what are you left with from those two guys?
yeah. 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 I mean, I can't necessarily complain with that. When the fuck did Merez become 7 foot?
My bad.
6'10", please respect him.
Felt that way.
It did.
What's Jax?
6'7".
6'10". Corey, actually, Jackson Color is bigger than Merez, according
Really?
to Ken Palm listings. So I take all this back. That's an embarrassing performance. You let a dude smaller than you punk you?
Mm. Oh, Kohler had more rebounds than Merez.
Mm.
This game
You're
was
flipping all over the place right now for me.
no.
Very honest.
I think that the domination, the rebounding portion, I think a lot of that should go to Yaxel in this basketball game.
He's part of our front court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. Yaxel to me flipped the rebounding in this basketball game. I don't think he
Okay.
necessarily does that on a game-to-game basis.
I think in a rebounding drill with your three guys in the front court, it's likely to happen. Why are we
Probably
surprised that Yaxel got 6 offensive rebounds?
because when's the last time he's done that?
He's never been checked by Cohen Carr for the majority of a game, dude. And two
When
games ago was the last time he had 6 offensive rebounds.
against who?
Ohio State,
Who's their
Devin
three?
Devin Royal.
Is that their three?
Yes. All right.
Yeah, no,
We've spent plenty of time on this conversation. I don't know why you're acting surprised by this right now.
I'm not acting surprised by it.
Rebounding battle was tied in this game.
Yeah, y'all. I said y'all were incredible on the glass. I'm not really sure
That's
what
why is that even incredible? We tied you.
I mean, didn't you come on here and say that y'all really, for as good as y'all are, you're not like the best rebounding team of all time?
We're not. I'm surprised we tied you, but it's like I feel like people are coming out of this like Michigan out rebounded by Michigan State by 15.
Yeah.
Yaxel beat Cohen Carr for offensive rebounds. We are surprised by that.
Hmm? No, no.
Okay. Carson Cooper had 6 and 2 against Mara and Merez. Are we surprised by that?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
You're not at
Expect
all.
from Coop next time.
You're not at all.
What did you think he missed in this game he should have made? It's Carson Cooper, man. I like Carson. He's been great, but like this is a horrible matchup for him.
Hmm.
No? Like
Yeah. I no,
I really thought we'd
I
be able to get here and just admit that. No?
yeah. Yeah, it's a bad, yeah.
If you're looking for the stuff and just those three guys in terms of how they match up, to me, Jax is the guy who could have been better. I have a really hard time watching the possessions of Carson Cooper in this game being like, man, he should have been able to beat Mara more.
No, I'm not even, I'm honestly, I'm not looking at scoring.
Look at everything. I don't think he's
He
gonna
could be better on the glass.
I don't think he's going to. Not with those 6 guys. It's not a one-on-one rebounding battle. Like if Carson Cooper is supposed to either off which side of the floor do we want to do right now? Offensively or defensively?
Whichever one you want to start with.
Well, I
He's
mean,
not
like,
going to beat him offensively. I'm not even asking for that. I think that Carson can be better on the glass against those three. Yes.
we just fought off camera for 2 hours.
Hmm.
It's a true thing that happened.
Yeah.
Sucks, but
Do you think people will be able to see our demeanor change from the like where this cut off?
yeah, aggressively so, I think. It's a pretty funny process if anyone could like have watched what just happened, it was pretty funny. We also had to tell producer Jacob about all of this. So
Yeah, we also reviewed the film. So yeah, we got personal
Mhm.
and then we stormed off.
Yep.
And then that followed up with a what do we do now
Well,
text.
I stormed off and then we stormed off.
Yeah. Greg
Well,
initiated the storm.
I gotta own that the first person who stormed was me. I gotta own that.
Yeah. Also, you were pushed to storm by me, which we talked all this out. We reviewed film, people.
It's there's a lot of wrongdoings.
We
It's like
went through the film.
TKR and Clough watched ball screens. Like we got torched. We
Wait,
torched each other.
we actually had this around Braden too much. I think we had a podcaster, so we had to have we legit had a podcasters only meeting.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna try and pick this up, and I think we don't hate each other right now.
Mhm.
We're like, okay, morale's probably at like a 4 out of 10,
Yeah.
but we can operate at a 4 out of 10.
It's higher on my end.
Okay.
It's higher on my end. You could have made it lower if if like you would have called me fat or something.
Mm.
I think that would have been like my trigger. Like you could be like, "Oh, Cart, you're a broke, stupid, fat piece of shit." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Who you calling fat?" That's
Two
what
in
I would have been back
two in shape right now.
trying.
You.
Speaking of in shape,
Yeah.
Trey McKenna.
Trey McKenna was huge in this game, I thought. Truly, we did discuss in the preview what his emotions would be. I
Hmm.
think he was definitely going to be a swing piece one way or the other. Didn't really see a world where there was a middle ground. Either he was going to be great or terrible. I think he was great. He ended up only 4 for 10 from the floor, only 2 for 6 from three. He did miss a couple really open looks late that I thought would have kind of been dagger shots, but just his confidence, poise, I think aggression offensively was really a pleasant surprise in an in-state game against a team that recruited and I think for a while felt like they should get Trey McKenna.
Hmm.
Given all that was going on with Jawan into like clearly they're going to get in. I think Michigan State like thought they could sway the family here.
Yeah.
Ultimately did not. And I there were reports from this game that apparently rumored his family was getting spicy in the Breslin crowd. Did you hear any of that?
No, but I did see because Trey was committed to Michigan, Orchard Lake St. Mary's won the state championship, and apparently I'm not sure if it was like former like kids that were in the high school that were going to go to Michigan State, or actually Michigan State students at the time went to the game and they were booing him,
Mm.
or booing him at the Mr. Basketball something about state fans booing him. But yeah, there was a that recruitment I think was a pick a side type recruitment, and like he picked that side, and Michigan State actually did feel pretty good about it because the Flint connection, and Izzo was traveling to McKinney's games. Like it was, they wanted him, right? They wanted him, and he chose the other side. And to your point, first of all, he came out in the first half ready. That's the thing. Like he played more in the second half. He ended up playing. Let's see here. In the second half, he played the fourth most minutes. Yeah, fourth most minutes, one less minute than like. So I mean, Amari Burnett played 3 minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
Roddy Gale played 10. Kase played 4. He went to McKinney even when McKinney's shot wasn't falling in the second half. But early on, he was cooking. He was 3 for 5, 2 or 3 from three. I also thought in that 10 minutes in the first half, he was a big part of the defensive switching stuff. Like he was ready for that. Michigan State guards were not able to get past him, and he was also. We talked about composure early on, which we had none. I'm talking about us. We lost our composure. Michigan didn't. Um, Trey McKinney was a big part of that. Like we didn't get to Cadau, the erratic point guard. We didn't get to Merez. We didn't get to. I didn't think we were gonna get to Merez. We didn't get to Yaxel, right? And we didn't get to McKinney. Like McKinney's a freshman. Like maybe we can get to the freshman in his first rivalry game.
Yeah.
He missed shots in the second half. I don't think he lost composure at all.
No, he's just a dude, and it hasn't really looked like that at all times because I think if we're being honest about the roster build of this team, they don't need him to be and or really want him to be. Dusty does draw a lot of like after timeout sets for McKenny because he is obviously a good shot maker and he is definitely like trusting him a lot right now. like in close games, at the end of games, he's on the court every time for Michigan, regardless of who else is. So I think
Mhm.
it speaks really highly of both where he'll be in the NCAA tournament and also like what could his future look like. I don't think it's crazy that like a year from now, sophomore Trey McKenna is the leading scorer on a team with Elliot Cadau running point still, and who knows what will be around him. But yeah, in this moment, I mean, I straight up thought if there was a guy to kind of shit his pants at the Breslin, it would be McKenny. And from the moment he stepped on the court, he was outplaying Namari Burnett. He was outplaying Roddy Gale, two guys that, again, I still do trust, but so much was made of like the vets. They're warning everyone that they've been through this before. The vets stunk in this game from the Michigan, and
Hey, respect Cheddar, man.
the young bull stepped up and was ready for the moment, which was cool. It also, I would have to imagine, maybe I'm wrong, has to sting twice as much as it would sting given the hole at the shooting guard spot for Michigan State right now.
Oh, McKinney would start on Michigan State right away.
Like on a team with Jace or even Trey Holloman, I don't think you're even viewing it through like, damn, ah, but because I mean, respectfully, they switched a lot. I get it. Divine and Kerr could not play in this game.
Yeah, you remember what I texted you during our little 45-minute uh basketball series talk?
Honestly, I can't see right now, so no.
Oh, okay. I was like, I want it known. I despise this kid. I wish on his downfall. I don't think anyone, if any Michigan State fan is having a serious discussion with themselves, we could have used Jig in this game.
Yeah, you did say that.
Massive, like, and look, I'm not over here talking about like, I wish, you know what I'm saying? He still chose the other side. I wish him the best with the Wolfpack. Watching my two guard spot in this basketball game was like you talk about guys losing their composure or like pissing down their leg. Divine and Kerr looked like they'd never played basketball before
Yeah.
in their 23 combined minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Izzo went away from them more than he has all season. He basically scrapped Divine the same way he scraps Kerr in bad games right now, and this was a stinker from both of them. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of I feel like this rings true to part of the point I tried to make in the front court discussion. I don't know if it even made the video. This might have been after we cut it off, but
Mhm.
I just feel like there was a caliber difference. I just think
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I agree.
Kurtang and Divine just couldn't play in this game.
Yeah, I think that there's a depth of caliber and talent difference to where the point is that if Michigan State's not going to do the things they do well, like that much better than the other team, then like typically the talent better roster is going to show itself.
Yeah.
You know, like this game could have been worse.
Yeah.
This game
Uh,
could have been worse for Michigan or for Michigan State and like yeah, we didn't do the things we supposedly do well or do usually do well. And, that's a conversation for Michigan State versus more elite competition. But there was a moment in this basketball game where I was like, dog, like Divine, Kerr, Cam Ward, Trey Ford, Jesse McCullough are like trying to do stuff. They didn't have any, and they're trying to go up against more talented players.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yep. And McKenny is maybe the just most visible example of that to me. Like,
You think he just starts eventually? Like,
not this year. Not this year.
I mean, he's already playing Amari 12 minutes a game.
That was just
Or
the
sorry, not 12, I'm sorry, he played him 12 minutes in this game.
that was just this game. I think no, I think the season's gone so well. You're gonna stick with the vets. Namari's a culture guy and a leader, but I think it's one of those things where Namari is almost like I don't want to say rooting for Trey, but like I think Namari's perfectly happy when Trey gets to play the second half
Yeah.
and knows what the deal is and has accepted his role to the fullest as the mentor for him. So no, I'm pretty happy with how things are going there. On Namari and Roddy, I'm just going to lump them together. They played 33 combined minutes in this game. 2 points. It was a Roddy Gale bucket. They go 1 for 2 from the floor. They did not attempt a 3-point attempt. So I guess, kudos to Michigan State for keeping Namari off the line. But in general, just not much of an impact. Gale had two turnovers that were both loud. And I think after those two turnovers, basically didn't go back much to him.
Mm.
Namari, there are definitely like Namari games and non-Namari games, and part of that is just tied into when Trey's playing well. But for me, bad games from both of them still felt like they were both important to what Michigan does in the sense that they keep the young guys' legs fresh for late in the game and they are switchable defenders and all that stuff. So, did you even notice them in this game at all?
Not really. The only thing I can remember from those two, I feel like Roddy's bucket was actually pretty timely, if I'm not mistaken. But I do remember like the loud bad turnovers where he like over dribbled and just like threw it.
Yeah, Roddy's an interesting spot right now. It's very similar to last year, not in the sense of the slump, because this year's team needs way less from him. But in non-conference, both the last 2 years, he's like a 12 a game scorer and in double figures like every single game. And then he gets to conference play, and I don't know if it's just Big Ten teams have scouted him or what, but this year he's currently on a stretch of 8 consecutive games in single figure scoring. And like,
I got a theory.
what's your theory?
It's a joking theory, but I think you'll actually like it. By playing in the Big Ten, it reminds him that he was an Ohio State Buckeye.
I love that theory.
I
Yeah.
think that might be it.
Yeah. You can take the player out of the Diebler, but you can't take the Diebler out of the player. Yeah.
Not when he's just seeing Big Ten teams on a nightly basis.
Yeah, look, I was a lot more frustrated with Roddy a year ago when that team needed 12 a game from him and on the court 30 minutes. On this team, it's like just come in and guard and make 1 to 2 plays a game, and we're very content. I don't think there are many more players in the country off the bench that can impact the game as much as Roddy Gale. He's not doing it right now. I'm not worried about it, but I do say Roddy Gale turnovers are the thing that annoys me most about this team,
Mhm.
which is like a very minor inconvenience in the big picture. But
Uh, that's what's tough is Roddy Gale's a player though, because the way to cut down on his turnovers, I think, is him being able to shoot. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like he can't shoot, so he tries to drive, and then when he drives, he turns it over.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll just have a random March game like last year again, awful for 2 months and pop out and win you a game. I
That'll
don't
make
know.
it all worth it.
But all right, two more guys off the Michigan bench quickly. Will Cheddar, 5 points, no rebounds. One made three, the biggest shot of the game, I would say. Right after Michigan State had finally erased the deficit, gotten over the hump, took a 2 point lead with 6 minutes and 55 seconds left in this game. I
Mhm.
am sitting alone on my couch, pissing myself, just flat out, this is over. Wow, like once they got over the hump, they're going to run away with it. What does this say about this team? They're cooked. They are scared. All the narratives were going to be the opposite of what this is because Will Cheddar hits a movement off balance contested three to immediately retake the lead. That was Michigan State's only lead of the game. I mean, it was just as quick as you could possibly take it and then give it right back. A Will Cheddar bucket. Just, I felt like it stabilized the entire operation. I also would assume that shot drove you insane because if I'm Michigan State, I'm like, yes, oh my God, run, and it goes in. So, what did you see from that? Thoughts on Cheddar in general?
Yeah, everything you just said about that, as I was feeling good about, like that felt like double barrel shotgun, two of them directly to my chest from point blank range. I'm an emotional being during these basketball games. I legit said to myself that even with like 5 minutes left or 6 minutes left, whenever it happened, I was like, that kind of hurt like it was over.
Hmm.
Like, because in my head, to your point, I'm like, first of all, did they just run a flare for Cheddar that my guy just got over and got a good hand in, and he was like leaning towards the sideline and he banged it from deep? I was like, okay, get that off the rim, Cohen Carr go route for a dunk to make the Breslin erupt, and now we take a 4 point lead, dusty timeout. Like things go from that point. That one just hurt. It hurt. And I give credit to Cheddar because you know what I'm saying? Like he had three shot attempts in his basketball game, played 17 minutes, had 5 points. His 3 points were damn near one of the biggest of the game, in my opinion.
The one thing I would say about Will, and for those that don't know, we were able to talk to Will once. I wouldn't necessarily call him a friend of the program, but I would say he's one of the few players in 5 years that we've interacted with.
Mhm.
I always sort of kick myself for that. And I honestly don't kick myself for many things we've done in 5 years other than the fight we just had for 2 hours. But like we had 5 minutes with Will Cheddar on a night with Alex Caravan and Jeremiah Fears and all these like studly basketball players. And then we got Will Cheddar in, and I just like made him a butt of a joke for 5 minutes. And it feels really disrespectful in hindsight. And I think in the moment, it was disrespectful because I viewed him as a guy that was just going to leave and we would forget about him.
Mhm.
And I don't think that was crazy at the time, but what he has chosen to do and what he has done since is like nothing short of remarkable from a culture perspective. And I do think the contrasting cultures of this game were on full display all week. We know this. I'm not here to insinuate that Michigan basketball has the culture Michigan State does, not even close. But I don't know where the culture would be on this group without Will Cheddar.
Yeah, Cheddar's your guys' culture guy.
He's been through a lot
Yeah.
and sort of doubled and tripled down on like, you know what, I want to be here regardless.
Mhm.
And when Dusty kept him last year, I think it was kind of just like whatever. And then I think in 1 year, Dusty was like, no, this guy can help us.
Mhm.
And I mean, he's playing the three half the time he's on the court now. He's like really truly turned himself into a nice bench player that can make shots and does what this team needs him to do. And I think that's going to be the moment of his career. And if that's all he's remembered for is like, hey, he hit that shot in a Michigan State game, that's something that matters. And I'll always remember. So
Yeah. No, good
goes
on him for
Willie T.
that. And that's only three of the game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
two free throws in that.
Special by him.
Yep.
Special. Yeah, like I said, truly in that moment when it went in, I was like, I was, yeah, call me a bad fan or something like that really hurt. Like that hurt bad in that moment. I was like, this is over.
Yeah. Willie is 6 for 13 from three over his last 5 games.
Yeah.
Shooting well right now,
Yeah,
but
you think to transition this, you think Fears was impressed with his end of first half three?
I don't think so. I don't think so. One more Michigan thing before we pivot. That was a crazy call, though. Let me get on record with that. I tweeted this and I meant it. I think that's the friendliest whistle I've ever seen an opposing team get at Breslin.
Yeah, did what like overall officiating, what do you think of this basketball game?
Can I save that for the fears portion?
Yeah.
I think it ties into it.
Okay.
I like bad, but hard.
Yeah. Probably gonna be like that a lot, I feel like.
I mean, in the end, I think you come away from this with a 22 to 21 foul discrepancy. It's like I don't think officiating decided the game in one way or the other,
Yeah.
which is all you can ask for in a rivalry game. But like I don't know. That call stunk, right? And I do think in general, um, maybe you shouldn't, but I certainly expect a terrible whistle at Breslin Center. When it's Michigan versus Michigan State, I go into that game expecting bad calls in favor of the home team. And
Mhm.
I don't know if that's bias or not. In this game, that definitely didn't happen. Just definitely didn't happen. Like I found myself with more call. Like I can't believe we got that call.
Mm.
Anything. Did you feel the same or no?
I mean, I don't know. I had the toughest time with like officials and like, you know, what happens at the Breslin Center and whatnot. There wasn't one that I can like think on where I'm like, that's egregious.
Cheddar
Like
one seemed like the bad one.
that was the bad one. The only other one that I had in the back of my mind, and I'll ask you about it. The and I'm not even sure what point it happened at. The one where Jordan Scott was fronting Yaxel. Do you remember that one? And like Coop came over and helped and blocked it, but I think they called a push on Jordan Scott.
Oh, I do. Yeah, that was weird too.
That one. And then the only other nitpicky one I had was on one of Coop's alley-oops, Cheddar actually grabbed his jersey. But besides that, I really didn't really have much about it, to be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah,
Refs were great.
I have no issue if there are Michigan State fans that feel they got the bad end of a whistle. I think if this was a neutral, and this is not how officiating should work, but if it was a neutral site game, I'd be like the refs are fine. In this game, I expect to get a terrible whistle. We got a favorable one.
I think you got the right outcome of it though. The officiating didn't decide the game, which we count that as a win.
Which I mean, in the last calendar year has happened at
Yeah,
Breslin at least once.
yeah,
So, um, but again, it's part of this. I'll get to it in the fierce part. You just put so much damn pressure on the officials.
right,
It's very difficult to officiate a game that was played this way. So
right.
I don't know. The Cheddar call was the one I was like, wow, I cannot believe we got that at the Breslin. And
Yeah.
I was joking to the Discord about it in real time. This was meant very much as a troll joke. I don't actually mean this. Big Ten made the calls. Big Ten wanted number one in the conference, whatever you want to say, to have a chance in this one, and they
Yeah,
made.
you guys get that call.
Last guy on Michigan we haven't gotten to yet is my guy, as I call him. Remember, he was my guy long before he stepped on the logo. Back when I thought
Oh,
he
I
was
thought you were gonna talk Dusty.
no, my guy LJ.
Mm.
I thought LJ Kase was a disaster in this game for all of his minutes. However, I look up at the end of it, he had 3 assists to 1 turnover. Feel like I barely noticed the passing. And then I also look up and I remember that he hit one of the biggest shots of the game.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was and who got the offensive rebound? Was it Yax?
I don't remember probably.
I think it was Yaxel or Merez. After Kaysen missed, they kicked it back. It got back to Kaysen, and he reloaded them and took it again.
Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 possessions after the Cheddar three, I want to say, where
Yeah,
it was still a very back and forth game, and you're trying to get it back up to 5 or 6. And I think LJ made it from a 1 to a 2 possession game. So, look, I don't know what's going to happen to LJ in his career. I think if he stayed 4 years at Michigan, by year 4, I'd be very comfortable saying he's like a starter. He honestly kind of reminds me of the guy who pushed him off the logo a little bit.
hmm
That kind of crazy to say. He's kind of like Michigan's young Trey Holloman right now.
I can see that. Yeah.
And I don't know where that goes, but I was happy for him to have a big moment in this rivalry after all that happened last year and his role in that.
So he needs a nickname.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Tig. We got Jig.
Let's,
Tigathon.
yeah, I say we move off that rhyme
Good.
scheme.
Yeah.
Does that work? Yeah.
Good move by you. I'd also like to note that another guard that would start for us.
Oh, LJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would start at the two for you.
Yeah.
The other one, he kind of rocket Watsy.
Yeah.
I'm basically looking for erratic combo guards that may or may not be guys you trust ever,
That's about as Rocket Watts can get.
but can hit a big shot. And you kind of
Facts.
just love him because you kind of believe in him, you
Yeah,
know?
his name's LJ.
I love LJ. Good shot, LJ. Good shot.
Big time.
Shit, man. All right. I'm so scared. Do we do Michigan State now?
hmm
Okay. Where would you like to start with your team?
well, first and foremost, I think that the scary part for Michigan State, just big picture stuff here, is that eventually and I feel like this goes for a lot of different teams too. Like, I think teams that are built like Michigan State, you eventually have to make shots to beat good teams. Like, the other stuff is not gonna be enough. at times, especially when you're playing teams like Michigan who have this size, athleticism, talent. It's gonna be tough when you don't make shots. And fact of the matter is, like, no, Elliot Cadau made as many threes as my whole team.
Yeah.
Like they shot what, 37% from the field. Like, you just got to make shots, man. And the scary portion of this is that, you know what, this is kind of what this Michigan State team is. They do lack shot making, and you know what, it might end up being their downfall. The
Yeah.
shot making and just also just outside of shot making, games like this too, you notice the overall talent difference. It was pretty evident watching it.
Yeah. Yeah. The shooting, 4 for 23 from three is obviously a nightmare night. Kohler goes 2 for 7. Fears 1 for 5. Carr 0 for 3. Devine 0 for 1. Kerr 0 for 1. Jordan Scott 1 for 5. He was on the court for 26 minutes. And then Jesse McCulloch missed one. I mean, that's a whole team full of guys that couldn't hit anything. I would point out none of these individually feel all that crazy to me.
Yeah.
Um, I would also point out, again, 4 for 23. If you go 8 for 23, you shoot your season average,
Mhm.
35%, and the game is tied.
Right.
So I think Michigan State would probably take that coming in. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, and if just say they do what they normally do, the season average, tie game, that was the pregame spread. Rebounds were tied. All of a sudden, we're saying everything was even in this game.
Right.
At the same time, I think I made this point a little bit in the Discord, and I think it's fair to disagree with it. I didn't feel many of these were that open.
Hmm.
The ones I do think were open were either intentional. Cullen Cars were open.
Hmm.
We're good with that. Fears, I thought, missed some open ones in the first half, but he was in hell for the first half.
That air ball was crazy.
He was in hell for, I don't know what he was doing in the first half. And then for him to spit out what he spit out in the second half was crazy. Kohler's the one I think you could definitely be mad he didn't make more. He goes
Hmm.
2 for 7, and I can remember two pretty open looks he missed. However, one, he's been slumping. Two, Merez got good closeouts in this game. Three, by the end of his game, his legs were gone.
I was just gonna say that the last one that it was like on the right wing in front of the Michigan State bench that was like evident, like way short.
Yeah.
That was, and then there was another one. Forgot who it was. Jax missed the three short. That might have been in the first half though, but he missed the three short and tried to chase it down
Yeah.
and then just missed it. And I think Jax, that was the one I think Fears flagrant fouled him. But um, yeah, like to your point, Fears isn't a good 3-point shooter. So like he goes 1 for 5. I feel like I wish he hit more? Yes, but also like Fears is a bad 3-point shooter. So that is what it is. So is Carr. Anything those guys hit are usually, you feel better about. I mean, even going down the roster, if Tang looked like he could play basketball, maybe he's a guy who's in a spot who you would ask for a 3 for, but he was 0 for 1 in this game in 11 minutes. And then I feel like Kohler and Scott had the best looks.
It was Kohler and Scott you should be mad about if you're mad at missed
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah. Like especially when y'all went zone, like they were kind of running baseline in the corner and they were pretty wide open looks.
Yeah. Scott was
And
wide open on like all his attempts.
yeah.
The only thing I would point out with again, I'm kind of rebutting this whole thing. Do I think Michigan State's going to shoot 17% the next time they play? No. But
Hmm.
I also think like expecting Michigan State to shoot their season average from three against the number one defense in the country is a little off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the reason you shot so poorly from three to me was this switching scheme had y'all in hell.
Yeah.
And I think Scott and Kohler are the two to be mad about, but there's an explanation for Kohler. His legs were gone by the end of the game. With Scott, he goes 1 for 5 on pretty wide open corner threes, many of them against the zone. Jordan Scott on the season is a 30% three-point shooter. He's up to 31, excuse me, 18 for 58. Um, we're 1 week removed from him getting a wide open corner three that hit the top of the backboard.
Hmm.
He goes 1 for 5 in a game on that shot. Like if he goes 2 for 5, that's 10% above his season average.
Right.
So I have a hard time looking at Scott and being like, well, he should have hit two more. It's like he's a 31% shooter.
Right.
So you might get one more from Scott, but the overwhelming majority of this was like Kerr and Devine did not even get attempts because they couldn't play in this game.
Right. And the weird part about it is too is it's like I'm confused. I'm still confused what Scott is. Because
Yeah.
like you have this massive sample size of how like he's just a 30% three-point shooter. And then of course like you gotta have that little tiny voice in the back of my head. Well, oh well he's 40% in conference play in 11 games on 32 attempts. So it's like what exactly is he not? To your point, the free throw percentage usually is a good indicator of that. Which I don't know what he is on the year. He's only shot 13 free throws in conference play. He has made 10 of them, so it's like right around 77%. But um, yeah, I mean it's like you can get mad at guys missing shots, but also this goes back to the point that I made at the start. You got like guys that aren't shot makers. You don't have shot makers on the roster.
Yeah.
Really, really anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think in general it's Devine and Kerr that provide some of that, and they played 23 combined minutes because they couldn't play. So
Yeah.
without that, all of a sudden you're looking at either non-shooters or guys that had like pretty clear reasons not to make them. Again, Scott probably should have made one more given the type of looks that he got, but if you expect more than one more, I think that's crazy, and one more doesn't change this game at all from
Right.
Scott. So
You want to know the crazy part though?
what's that?
Uh, I don't think that Devine and Kerr were the biggest disasters in this basketball game.
Who was?
We might have, I don't think Cam Moore is playable.
Yeah, we've hinted at this a little bit where analytically his profile is as treacherous as you can get for like a bench role player.
Mhm.
Still is. I mean, he has a 3% assist rate to a 24% turnover rate. He is a 45% free throw shooter. And the only redeemable thing he does offensively is get to the free throw line a lot. Like that's just an absolute black hole.
He played 8 minutes in this basketball game and had three turnovers and a hook and hold.
It's like literally everything he provides in theory in profile is like a pretty massive negative right now. But it's hard because eye test wise, it doesn't feel that way. Like I get why people look at him physically and are like, that's an impact player. Just there's
Right.
nothing that shows it analytically at all.
It's that and rebounding. Everything else is like even his three shot attempts in this game, he tried to do the like they don't work hard layup thing, and Mara and Merez are like, well, we're 6'10".
Yeah. I'm not gonna be surprised at all if in his upperclassmen years he's an impact player. I just think he's clearly not ready. And on the note of like rotational stuff, this was a very different rotation from Tom Izzo than we've seen all year.
Hmm.
Cam Ward's in single digit minutes for the first time since the Oakland game. Kurtang and Divine Ugachukwu combined for 23 minutes, which is their lowest total of the entire season. And then, oh, what do you know? Surprise, surprise. Headline front page story. Denim Wojcik didn't check in. I can't believe backup point guard, the best backup point guard on the team, didn't get 1 minute in this game, Cart. Why was that?
Because he's bad.
Oh, you mean that was a complete charade for 2 months and he's not actually going to play in any serious game because they know what he is? That's crazy.
I think so.
Huh. Any stories come out after this one? Any questions asked about that, or do we all just know what's going on here?
I think we all just have I think we all see what we see.
It's kind of how it felt to me. I got a good chuckle out of that because I did predict that pregame, and
That was my favorite part of the game.
yeah, he loved that.
Yeah, any game he checks into irritates me.
Loved that. We kind of glossed over this. This is a one of one recap. That's why we glossed over this. But defensively, Michigan had an amazing defensive performance in the first half, holds Michigan State to 26 total points, 7 points in the first 10 minutes. The entire first half was essentially switching everything. Whether if Mara was out, you switch 1 through 5. If Mara was in, you play drop with Mara and go 1 through 4 switching. That's what Michigan has done all season. It is why they are an elite defense, and they executed it to perfection. I thought if you're trying to find Michigan State's half court offense answers, like what went wrong, why? It's because even like Fears, I think, struggled in the first half to beat the switches.
It's tough. It's tough to beat the switches because when you look at this Michigan State team, sorry, I know you're going there,
Oh,
but
you're good.
um, like if you're Michigan guarding this, and if there's a team, and to Michigan's credit, they're very singular in having like Yaxel is switchable, Merez is switchable. All the guards can also like switch, and even if they switch and they get past them, there's also a 7-footer behind there blocking shots. So it's like they're able to switch on Fears, dare him to shoot, still get good defense and a good contest, and also still stay with them if he wants to go to the basket. Then he has to finish over whoever's in front of him and whoever's helping, because everyone's helping too. Because what are you're kicking to Divine Ugochukwu and non-shooters, Cohen Carr. I'm helping in there. It's a roster flaw of this Michigan State team. Like they had nothing for that switching defense.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing.
which is we're gonna get to the Fears stuff, I promise. Fears ends up with 31 points on 20 shots. He got to the free throw line a ton and made most of them. He ends up with 7 assists to 2 turnovers. Like it was a great Fears game in terms of what did he actually produce. Maybe the best of his career. So it feels a little stupid to come on here at the end of it and act like the offense couldn't find any answers. Like Fears ended up finding answers. Um, but I just, as someone watching this game in real time, in the first 20 minutes, it just felt like Fears couldn't get anything.
Mhm.
And I don't know what he had in the first half, but like when trying to pinpoint,
12.
he had 12 in the first half.
Mhm.
Do you have how much was that line from that?
6 or 7.
Okay. Yeah, even that's more than it felt in real time to me. Maybe I'm crazy on that, but
He had
uh,
like one. He had. I'm trying to remember. He had one midi, I think. One midi, one like of those like little layup things that was really tough. I think he finished it over some guys, and I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, a 3 from 3.
okay. So yeah, 19 in the second half from him is obviously amazing, but I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but I'll say this at halftime. I guess I felt two things. Number one, we're kind of making Fears score to beat us.
Mm.
Like nobody else is getting anything. This feels like it's working. Number two, nothing is easy. Like it's not like Fears is getting Merez on him or Yaxel on him and blowing by and drag. Those guys are making it tough. So
Mhm.
I'm at halftime like, oh, they can't beat this. Like we have the perfect scheme, the perfect personnel. This is the worst I've seen Michigan State's offense look all year. They cannot beat this. Then Dusty just switches the scheme from switching to a zone for I don't know if this was predetermined or what, but it was a huge talking point. It was more zone than Michigan has played all year. As someone who's watched this game, every game, I mean, we've shown zone for a possession or two. I think they went zone against Penn State when like things were really iffy, looking for answers, but never, not once this season in a game you lead by 16 has Michigan just gone zone for minutes and minutes at a time. My interpretation of it as a fan was that they predetermined this and it was the game plan and they practiced, hey, we're going to do this in the first half because we can. And then they're going to spend all of halftime talking about how to beat it. And then we're going to surprise them. The only thing I would say is you were up 16. Why the hell did you have to change anything? I thought the switch to zone was a huge part of what found Michigan State some momentum in this game. What did you see with that switch?
Yeah, I was honestly, I was one of the main things I was, eager to hear about was why that happened. Because as I was watching it, I was like, okay, nice. This is like, you know, I think when you play Michigan State, like zone is a great concept. I get that. But I think you see if you have the ability to switch like Michigan does, it really takes everything you want to do away. Also, you guys are just kind of bad at zone.
Yeah. Yes. A
You're just
lot.
not good. Like, so I really don't know why y'all did it, but it gave guys opportunities to, kind of get in the cracks here and there. I know Fears is kind of driving it a little bit, a couple more like passes and guys hitting a few shots. There's just less pressure, I think, less like go beat the guy one on one. And Michigan State was able to find a little bit of success against the zone. And, there was a couple early turnovers that they were able, or just early stops and turnovers. And then they were able to get out in transition a little bit.
It was a transition push for sure in the run that Michigan State made. But yeah, just I think it was almost like game pressure too. It's like, okay, they finally forced some turnovers, got out and ran, got a couple buckets. They cut it to 10. And then you're watching the shots that they're getting, and they were just better shots because they were open against the zone. And whether or not they were going in, it just felt like nothing was easy in the first half. Why are we content to give them something easy? I remember noticing this. Felt like Cheddar was in during the stretch where they were getting torched too, where he just was not quick enough to rotate from the wing to the corner, and he
Mhm.
kept getting burnt. And that's where they're lucky Scott didn't make more because those were really wide open shots for Jordan Scott. But yeah, I don't have a good reason for it. I didn't see any explanation of it after the game from the press conference stuff I saw. I hope that's not a staple going forward. I really think that was just Dusty kind of trying to outsmart himself a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, nothing about what y'all did that first half defensively was like crazy. I can see Michigan State getting frustrated. Like I don't really know what to do with this.
Yeah. Is it time to do Jeremy?
Yeah, probably.
31, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. It's the most of any non-Yaxel Lendeborg player in the game. 4 steals in 35 minutes. Just flying around defensively. 4 fouls in 35 minutes. Just flying around from a fouls perspective as well. There are a lot of clips of Jeremy that have been circulated from accounts that matter a lot more than me in the last 24 hours of quote unquote potentially dirty plays. One of them being the call he was issued a flagrant for, basically chasing down Yaxel on the break. And Yaxel even posted a screenshot of this to his Instagram carousel post after this win. I mean, Fears, to me, I think he's not making a basketball play. It's a clubbed arm, whack at Michigan superstar in the middle of the air. Um, to me, it's incredibly dangerous, and he was correctly issued a flagrant for it. There's also, and you can do this with anything, you can slow down film and find screenshots. There's a kick at Yaxel's leg on a play that didn't seem like it needed it. And then there was like an and one he got that was a really tough finish where he dragged Yaxel down from the shoulder as well. There's also the Kase moment. I'm just kind of rattling off stuff, but a lot of moments here. Simultaneously, there's these moments that are happening while Jeremy is giving you 31 points and 7 assists. I don't even know how to have the fears conversation anymore. When I did Sheehan's pod before this game, he asked if you should be more worried about just the front court not being good enough or Jeremy Fears' mentals. And my answer to him at the time was, I think mentally he'll be here. I'm not worried about his mentals. I wonder if if he gets in trouble against great defenses. That was my hypothesis.
Hmm.
And I come out of this game having no idea if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
Like, was he frustrated by the defense? So that led him down this chaotic, evil path. At the same time, can you be frustrated by a defense when you end up with a career high 31 points? Was this a marvelous Fears game? Was it a bad Fears game? And I think whatever your answer is, you have to take all of these things into. You also have to take into account that Cadau played great.
Mhm.
Part of Fears' job in this game was to get to Elliot Cadau, disrupt him, defend him.
Mhm.
And I think maybe the biggest play of the game, we said it was the Cheddar play, maybe the decisive play of the game was with a 3-point lead. Ball screen, Fears on Cadau. Fears takes a dive. And Cadau gets a wide open three to hit his third three of the game and basically put the game out of reach.
Mhm.
So I just don't, I have no idea how to analyze it anymore. I think I'm being biased every time I try to. I felt this was a dirty game from a great player and a 12-point loss. What did you feel about your point guard?
Yeah, it's like the thing is, you know how it's tough for you to talk about. It's like getting tough for me, to be honest with you, because um like I can't even because looking at the stats, looking at the game, like he had moments where he did some great things in this basketball game, right? To get Michigan State in it. Um like he was good, man. Like 31, the assist you talk about, but it it feels like it's all for naught, if that's the right word, because like he's doing dirty shit.
Were they
That's
dirty
the thing.
plays?
Yeah, yeah.
I
They
saw
were.
I saw and credit to them. I'm speaking just as I'm trying not to be a Michigan fan on this. Credit to the Michigan State fans and people on the internet that have called it this because there have been a lot of them. Like I have seen a lot of Michigan State fans I enjoy following just flat out say this has to end. Why is he doing this?
Mhm.
Um, it's also hard to me because there's like the foul baiting stuff versus legitimately dirty
That's
plays.
that's what so the thing is, I think you need to separate the two.
They're very different.
They're very different. Like I get it's frustrating to watch and it's unethical and the foul baiting and the flopping around and the fly like I get it and I you know what I talk about it all the time and you know we talk about what how he does it when he feels like he can't do anything else when he can't play basketball he starts foul baiting and flying around, which he does a lot. The thing that I don't feel like should be a negotiable part of this is the actual just like dirty basketball plays. Like it ruins this performance. And it was in a loss, so like who even cares about the performance to be honest with you, but like it I can't even find your it's really hard to enjoy Fears hooping sometimes. Even as my point guard. It's very hard to enjoy it because he does flop around, he does foul bait, but then like I can get around that. Like being a dirty player is not something you want to have attached to your name. Because it doesn't really matter what you do, you'll just be associated as being a dirty player. Like you can do whatever you want. Grayson Allen was a great player at Duke. No one talks about that. They talk about how he was a dirty player. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's something that sticks with you. And he just, I don't know. I come from this standpoint too. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. It is very easy not to make dirty
Do you think
plays.
he felt like he had to do it? Like, do you think what's going through his brain in this is we're down 16, I got to do something?
I think in his head, he wants to like foul bait to. Are you talking about that? Or are you talking about the dirty plays?
Some of the dirty plays. I like the foul bait stuff. There's a different version of this where the multiple different Yaxel related plays from Fears just aren't there. Because I know I've been as critical about Fears as anybody in the last year. I get it. I understand I'm not the right person to deliver this message. To me, even in the moments I've been really loudly critical of hating the way he plays, it's very rarely genuinely dirty.
Mhm.
Now, I still think you can find examples of him doing quote unquote dirty things. Like
Mhm.
I think that's always been known. Be careful with him. But I've never come out of a game that felt this way. And I don't know if it's my team or what, I can't remember a game where there were multiple different. It feels like he's making a non-basketball related dangerous play.
Mhm.
And that's not foul baiting. Like the foul baiting stuff we know from him that's there every game was what he did to Mara. Oh, Mara's behind me. I'm going to take a dive.
Mhm.
Kudos. Like I think I don't know. Some people on the Michigan State side, rightfully so, were like, you got to scout that better. Yeah, you can't be anywhere near Jeremy Fears. That's the scout. You cannot go anywhere near him or he's falling and he's going to get a foul on you. Um, this was different, man. This was not foul baiting. It was, and the hard part for me in terms of like, oh, it might not have been intentional. It might have just been like, in the flow of the game. Dude, all three of his incidents in this game were to Yaxel. He wasn't doing this to Namari Burnett. Wasn't doing this to like he was doing this to Yaxel three separate times, three very isolated incidents, and you can debate which ones were what. The shoulder one is obviously the one that's the most up for debate. That was a tough finish, and somehow, some way, he's holding Yaxel's shoulder on the way down. The kick looks bad, and a lot of people are pointing out the kick. The kick looks bad. The chase down midair, that is one of the more dirty things I have ever seen. And I get it's a rivalry game. I think a different player gets ejected for doing that. There was no way they were going to eject him for that in this building. Not to Tom Izzo. But I can't recall. And then there were two other times where that exact same play happened and he didn't.
Mhm.
And I felt myself visually being stunned he didn't try and do that.
Mhm.
Like, and that's to me, I don't know how you tell the story of him at this point other than that. And for me, it's really frustrating because if it wasn't there, this was the best game of his career. And we're coming out of it giving him all the credit for doing everything he can for Michigan State. And instead, I'm just like, how can you support this guy?
Yeah.
So, and I guess in the Grayson comparisons, it's like Grayson sucked. Everyone hated Grayson at the time, except for Duke fans. Grayson, I think, has like made a very nice career out of himself and not had any incidents in the NBA.
Yeah.
So I think there's clearly a world where this shit stops, but I don't know what you even do with it, and I'm uncomfortable talking about it because I don't like talking about it. But I felt it was a despicable approach from him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't condone dirty basketball plays. Especially like to your point, I would I think that the 1-and-1 finish is up for debate. That's the only thing I'll say about that. The other ones, like, what am I got nothing to say. He made dirty basketball plays. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my point guard. Obviously, it's my team. Dirty basketball plays are dirty basketball plays. And I can't get with that. I feel like, especially because and I don't feel like this is talked about enough, people who make dirty basketball plays are mentally weak. That's not tough. It's not tough to make dirty basketball plays.
Well, it's
That's
just
something it's something I associate with bad basketball players who feel like they can't do anything but make dirty plays.
and he's obviously not that. Like he's obviously one of the better point guards in the whole sport right now.
Yeah, but like, listen, if you're gonna like, there's like to your point, and this is my guy I'm trying to defend. Like, I'm a Jeremy Fears fan. This is my guy, but it's like, oh, like 3 to 4 incidents in one game. How is someone supposed to not come away at that and be like Jeremy Fears is a dirty basketball player?
And
It's
totally get, it's your guy. I get how beloved he is to Michigan State fans. I have no intent to try and sway you off of that.
Mhm.
Um, it's like one of those guys, like obviously it fits the mold of, well, if he's on your team, you'd love him. And if he wasn't, you hate him. Of course you hate him. If he was on any other team in the country, you all hate him. There's no defending this. There's not. There isn't. And kudos to those of you that agree and are saying it out loud, but it has to stop, man. And like, I get, again, this was different. I've criticized him for foul baiting as if it's getting in the way. This was dangerous and frequent, and I can't recall it. Can't recall seeing that happen from him to this level ever. I joked about it, but it's kind of not a joke to me. I'm kind of dead serious about this. Illinois comes to the Breslin in a week. If I'm Illinois, I don't let Wagler get anywhere near Fierce. I mean, if I am a team that is like really dependent on one superstar, whatever I can do, I'm not letting him get anywhere near that guy. I don't know how you watch what he just did in this game and say he's not liable to do it again. By the way, Wagler will be his matchup in a week.
Mhm.
And to me, if I'm trying to play mental gymnastics, psychoanalyze this, I shouldn't. I have no idea what's going through his brain. But to me, why would he be frustrated enough to do this? Because it's not getting to Michigan. None of his shit is working. So now I'm pissed. You ain't gonna rattle Keaton Wagler.
Mhm.
I'm like, I get people are mad at me for saying it. I would not let Wagler get anywhere near Fierce. I think he is in danger to go up against that man for 40 minutes based on what I saw. And maybe that's crazy for me. I don't know. But I don't want Yaxel. Like, I hope the league is decided by the final game of the season. I don't want Yaxel to play against Michigan State again. Because the from behind in air could have ended his season. And if I'm being dramatic, I can live with that. But like, it's dangerous, man. It's insane what he did in this game.
Yeah, and then after all that, it's not even like the and overshadows the fact that dog, he flopped and we got gamed. Like, and he tried to draw a call on the screen and fell to the floor. And Elliot Cadau shot a wide open three, night night, and that was the game.
Yeah. And I mean, it was a sell, right? That's what you saw in that play. He's just trying to sell a call.
Yeah, I don't. It's really weird to watch. He just flops around a lot. And like I think you said this, flopping, foul baiting, have the conversation about it, do what you want with that. The dirty play stuff's just unacceptable.
I just think in his head, it's not even dirty.
You think that okay, say it's not in his head. Do you think anybody else is being like, you gotta chill?
No.
You don't think Izzo
Do you?
telling him not to do dirty basketball plays?
I mean,
I might be naive here, but I think that he would tell him to chill.
it's hard because it's not like we've seen him do these exact plays every game. It's not like there's so yeah, I don't want to like act like they condone this. I'm not
Mm,
trying to say they do. Do I think there's going to be a film session where anyone on Michigan State staff says you can't do that? No, I don't. If anything, I think they're going to applaud his effort in hustling back and not giving up a layup.
mm.
Now, is that the Michigan fan in me?
What about the other ones?
I don't think they're going to even look at that film,
Mm,
would be my guess. An Ant Wright 1 second clip of a pass or whatever that was. Like, I don't think it's going to be discussed.
yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong, but like, we're getting deeper into his career, man. It's getting louder. How long have you and I had this conversation? At least 3 months now. Like, is his approach going to change?
Mm,
No. He's doing it more and more and louder in
yeah.
every possible way. Just the only difference is now, simultaneously, he has become a really productive basketball player. So if he wasn't delivering these type of numbers, I think everyone's like, this is despicable and unacceptable. The problem is he's averaging 30 and 8 his last 2 games.
Yeah, but it's
Like,
ru- yeah, but it's just ruined by that stuff though. That's the only thing.
It's just a crazy simultaneous thing. Like even the guys you would compare him to historically, Grayson Allen wasn't doing this. And by doing this, I mean 30-8 in his last two games.
Mhm.
Like this is like if Denzel Valentine was Grayson Allen.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like I
Well,
don't know what you do with that.
and here's the thing too. It's like even with the foul baiting stuff, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think the last dirty play thing that he did was the Pat Ngongwa thing, the Duke game. Was there anything in between that in this Michigan game?
Off the top of my head, no. No, I don't want to accuse him of anything that I don't have, so no.
Right. So it's like it's just
Did you
yeah,
think the case in one qualified?
the grabbing Case's foot. Yeah, you probably shouldn't grab people. I mean, the thing is like on the egregious scale of it, it's like he kicked Yaxel's shin as he's trying to go out, fouling Yaxel in the air. I mean, yeah, grabbing someone's foot is some dirty shit. Yeah.
Well, it's either like to me, you played higher level basketball than me, so you can tell me what you disagree with here. To me, there's two different paths that would get us to this point. Like in a rivalry game against Michigan, he has at minimum what, three or four quote unquote dirty plays.
Well, to cut you off, the scary-ish part about it is the only reason like it's like you don't do something until something happens.
Yeah.
Like Yaxel didn't, no one got hurt.
Well, to be clear on my stance on this, I think the reason Yaxel didn't get hurt is because Yaxel's a 6'9", 240 pound
Right.
demon.
Right. Yeah. No,
Like,
what was the point where you going on before that?
well,
Sorry.
I just to me, it's not like it's one play, right? At
Mhm.
minimum, however you feel about these various, oh, this one's dirty, this one's not. At minimum, there were three, if not four, either objectively non-basketball plays.
Mhm.
Like grabbing someone's leg is not a basketball move.
Mhm.
What are you doing, man? I don't know. Is it dirty? You call it whatever you want. That's not a basketball play. So he had three of those at minimum. Depending on how you feel about the shoulder one, that's probably four. Um, to me, there's only two explanations for how do you get four of those in one game in a
Mhm.
high intensity emotional rivalry game. How does that happen four times to a team's best player? Thing number one, and I don't know which one's more likely. Thing number one, it's premeditated. And I don't think the case in one you could say is that three of these happened to Michigan's best player. And I hate that I have to even accuse this. I'm not saying that's what I think happened, but I'm trying to come up with how is it even possible for a player of Jeremy Fears' caliber to make those four plays in one basketball game? Either he came into the game saying, this stuff's okay tonight. This stuff will help my team win. Or maybe more scary than that one to me. Thing number two is this is just his natural instincts. If his natural instinct within the flow of a basketball game is this shit, to me, that's even scarier than the first. And I don't know which one it is, but those are the only two explanations to me. And either one is incredibly concerning. Do you have, is there a third route to get here that I'm unaware of? Like,
Uh, just frustration, frustration and losing your cool.
just
Like when,
frustrated. Yeah, yeah, maybe.
like, or at least trying to think because I don't even know what the time stands for. I know the one with Yaxel, that was like I'm frustrated. I'm
Mm-hmm.
frustrated. I'm about to file the shit out of this dude.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that one was right there, and that's just that's him losing. Once again, we talked about composure. Not much composure in that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I mean, look, I feel like. I feel like sometimes you do see somebody on the court or something like that, and you're like, I'm gonna try to get at this guy. I'm gonna do a little something. But like the whole dirty portion, I'm talking about like coming off a screen, maybe give him a little extra something. You know what I'm saying? Something that's more within the basketball game. I don't really know what to do here to defend kicking someone, grabbing someone's foot, fouling them midair.
Yeah. I mean, it's also, I think it puts fans like you in a tough spot here. I can't imagine these are conversations either one of us want to be having. It's not like you want to sit here after a rivalry loss and say this shit. This sucks to
Well,
cover.
it's tiring. I think I texted you during the game and said this was tiring because you want to know what the worst you silver lining here? Imagine this conversation if we won this game,
Right.
but all we talk about is fears, dirty plays.
Right.
It's just
But
like it's stupid from my pure like I did play basketball perspective here. You, dirty players do shit because they're bad basketball players. They're bad basketball players. They don't know how to keep their cool. They do it because they can't do anything else. Which I don't understand why Fears has to do this. He's not bad. He
yeah,
doesn't have to, which I know you and I have had the conversation. You say in certain situations he literally has to because he can't do anything else.
yeah.
That's
Well,
concerning.
that's to me, that's more foul baiting.
Mm,
And again, there's a difference. And I would actually argue, we're not even talking about the foul baiting in this game. There was also a loud portion of this game. Like he got Mara in foul trouble, and honestly, that might have helped Michigan because we went away from the guy that was minus 16.
mm,
But it just, yeah, there's that whole element where he has to get to the free throw line 20 times in a game, and at least 10 of them every game are forcing a whistle. And this brings me back to the when you asked how did you think this game was officiated. I'm gonna use I think Dusty said these exact words after the game. I have no idea how you officiate a Jeremy Fears game. How do you do it? He takes a dive every play. And then on the other end, he's kicking people. So with like and I'm dead. How are you supposed to officiate this? He is an impossible player to officiate.
mm,
And this game turned into a foul fest between the two best defenses in the country, in my opinion, because Fears left them no choice.
mm.
So it's really hard to have any sort of conversation about, well, what'd you think of officiating? Did you watch how your point guard plays? Like what are the officials supposed to do here? They ended up calling everything basically. I don't think anyone wanted that. Michigan didn't for sure. Michigan wanted freedom of movement in this game.
Mhm.
So I I don't know what you do. I truly don't know what you do. And like all times we have this conversation, it's like, well, it's just on Jeremy to figure it out. I'm at this point, he's not going to figure it out. I don't know how you sit here and say, well, it's on the fit. He's halfway through his career, dog. This is non-basketball stuff. This is who the kid is. And you can support it because it's your point guard. You can, I think, simultaneously while doing what I'm doing here, you can applaud him for an amazing basketball game. I mean, truly, he he gave Michigan State a chance.
Okay.
This was the most productive game of his career, but it's just it is what it is. Like, and that's the hardest part about it, which you kind of alluded to, is it all comes under the guise of the floor general, the toughest kid in America, the guy you don't want to see. And lumped into all of this is Cadau just did whatever he wanted,
Mm.
wasn't disrupted at all. Like, it's just hard to take seriously at this point. If this is how he's going to approach games, it's hard to take him seriously as the persona that he's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's just confusing. It's confusing and tough. Tough because yeah, like I think Jeremy Fears is a good basketball player. But he does in this game. He did a lot of dirty shit, and also like even as I'm watching it, I mean, he, like you said, he foul baits and flops around a lot.
And I'm at the point where that shit is like good basketball, I guess. Like a month ago, we're like, this isn't basketball. And now it's just like, don't try and injure people. And you can do that shit. And I'm okay with it now. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm curious to see where this goes. I don't think it's a coincidence at all that Michigan State's three losses are the games where Fears had moments. I mean, the Nebraska thing with Frager and the sequence that followed was like a 4 minute moment.
Yeah.
Um, Duke was all over the place from start to finish, and Michigan was a great game objectively with 30 plays throughout. So, like you're right, in between from USC to Rutgers, was there anything? No, there was just a bunch of brilliance. But to me, like it's kind of chicken or the egg. Are you losing games because Fears is losing himself a little bit? Is Fears losing himself out of frustration that you're losing?
Mm.
Probably that would be my guess. Probably. And you haven't trailed a game like this really ever. Like Nebraska was back and forth. You led for most of the Duke game. So I don't know. Maybe the reason this felt uncharacteristic is because being down 16 was uncharacteristic to Fears.
I feel like he was crashing out a bit.
Yeah. But it was supposed to be Cadau doing that, not him.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this to end the Fears portion of this? Again, 31-7 to two turnovers is brilliant. This exact version of Jeremy Fears, all of it. The flagrant, the dicey stuff, the foul baiting, and the 31-7. Can you win a national championship with that?
No.
No hesitation from you on that?
No.
I think there's at least a segment of the world, not even just your fan base, but the world, that would say you're crazy. He had 31-7. If he gets more help from other guys, you win this game.
Yeah, there's also a world where he might not be in the game.
Right. Different crew ejects him.
Yeah. I mean, look, like, sorry. Uh, if Yaxel like fell and acted like he was hurt, there's a world where Fears does get ejected.
Yeah.
But
But free throws.
who hit me?
Oh, did you try to do that?
Okay.
The bit still works.
Oh, it does, man. Here's the thing too, last thing on this. I got this notion in my head, and it might be like glass half full stuff, that if you put better players around him, he will stop doing so much unnecessary shit. Is that just me being having Michigan State Spartan glasses on?
No. Well, no, it's not. It's not. I would word it a little bit differently. I think with better play,
Like oh, maybe even to your like we can do like a cross team comparison here. Elliot Cadau got around better players, and I feel like he cut out all the other shit.
yeah. I mean that is a one for one, absolutely. Cadeau, and this I don't think this is me. Cadeau hasn't been dirty this year.
Mm,
I don't think that's Michigan glasses on. He's done the foul baiting, but a much more
oh,
muted version of it.
mm,
He has not been dirty. And the scout on him at North Carolina was he was dirty.
mm.
So I yeah, I do think it's possible. I think at the same time I struggle, man. I really think actions speak for themselves at a certain point. This isn't a freshman. This guy's in his third year in East Lansing. He gets Mateen comps every day. This is at least partially by design in his head. Whether, however Izzo feels about it, however anyone feels about it, clearly Jeremy feels this is okay. So I the same way we would have said this about Aaron Kraft, Brad Davison, Grayson Allen, whatever player you want to do. Now we just have to say those things about a player this good, which is jarring and scary because you're not supposed to be this good while doing this shit. But it is who he is. I think if it changes, we'll give him all the credit for it and talk about it. He'll probably win a National Player of the Year if it changes. But in the meantime, like I said, we're gonna see y'all again. I don't want anybody stepping near him. I hope the league is decided we can literally bench our top six by the time we play Michigan State because I do not want to do this again. He I had this hypothesis too with some MSU channel people today, talking about what his future looks like at Michigan State next year. I think, like you're saying, with better players, could this stuff stop? Here's a pitch for you. Could his career arc look like Trey Kaufman-Renz at all?
Well, how so?
And you're going to take that, I think, really disrespectfully because we're not
No,
our
wait,
guys.
no. Because I think didn't you and I have a similar conversation of like kind of is it revolving the fact that one of the big issues I have with this game is that I Jeremy Fears felt the need to shoot 20 times.
Yeah. So Fears
I want what's Fears averaging this year?
15 and 9, which
I think I think and even looking at this stretch too where like Fears is averaging like 20 and 25 and 8 or something like that. I think he's doing that because he has to. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have to, but I'm saying like if I have other pieces around him, there's more shots for just looking at next year, more shots for Jervis. Year two, Jordan Scott, more shots. If Caleb Glenn wants to be a guy that takes some shots as well, like just I don't want him to be this high volume shooting guy.
in conference
Or
play, he's averaging 18 and 8. 10 of those, which is remarkable,
which
dude.
is crazy, by the way.
It's absolutely amazing. And 10 of those 18 points, or no, excuse me, 8 of those 18 points per game are coming at the free throw line. Like that's basically half of his scoring. The other half is probably layups, transition stuff, and like he's becoming a more complete player. I think he's shooting 16% from three in conference play. So it's
Mhm.
not like that's taking any steps. But yeah, on this team in conference play cart, he leads the team in field goal attempts. He's shooting the ball 11 times a game. That's more than Kohler at 9, Carr at 7, then Tang and Cooper at 6. We were talking with Michigan State fans, like, what do you think Fears' numbers look like next year? Right now, he's 15 and 9. Somebody was like, oh man, he's going to be like 18 and 10, 18 and 11. It could certainly happen. Here's what I think will happen. Michigan State's going to get really talented players in from a variety of places, and he's going to have the exact same production switch up that Trey Kaufman-Renn had this summer, where Trey went from a 20 a game scorer on a team that was stretching him as thin as he could go to, oh, we got what we need now, 12 and 8, and remolded it like now, oh, now I rebound because now I'm going to add to the game in other ways. Like, that'd be great. I think Fears could average 12 assists a game next year.
Mhm.
I don't think there's any way in hell you even want this guy averaging 18 points again next year.
No.
You want that to come from the guys he's kicking to. And the more he has to do this shit, I think the more it feeds into all the other shit. And that's my pitch. Maybe a national championship worthy Michigan State next year takes a much more toned down version of Fears.
Yeah, I don't hate that theory.
Goes against everything with the leadership stuff though. We weren't asking for a more toned down version of Mateen. Like we shouldn't have to say that about a guy that has that stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, not even like I'm just talking about like, yeah, I actually no, that's facts.
So I don't know. I don't know where it goes. But I will say this. I know how to watch this rivalry. Obviously, I'm in a weird mutant space in it. I hate myself for that. I've watched Michigan State teams that I've hated that I've been like, damn, I love those Hoopers. I've watched Cassius Winston sweep my team 3 times in 3 weeks. And all I could say coming out of it was like, my God, I respect that man. I got zero respect for the way Jeremy Fears plays basketball. Absolutely none. And I don't think I'm alone at all. And he's going to end up on whatever pantheon Michigan State fans want to put him on with Cassius and with whoever. If he doesn't change this shit, he don't deserve to be there, in my opinion. I don't care what the counting numbers are. It's something to watch. So, all right.
Mateen averaged 12 and 7 his senior year.
Yeah. Mateen got the natty bump legacy wise.
Yeah, we don't talk about that enough.
Otherwise, that is a pretty great comp. But
What pick
Mateen
was
was like Mr.
what pick was Mateen in the NBA draft?
I don't know. Do you know?
No, but like I'm trying to, I don't know, do a little deciphering here. Like, were people that moved?
Mm. Yeah, you've never been a Mateen guy.
Damn it.
Fears, I mean, yeah, I think honestly, Fears right now, probably better player than Mateen, based on what I remember from Mateen and looking at numbers and all that. But that Fears was also on a team with monsters. Mateen was on a team with monsters, you know?
He's a 14th overall pick
He is
by the Pistons.
great player.
Damn Pistons.
Mm.
Oh,
Anything else?
Cohen Carr rebounded.
I thought this was a really good Cohen game, honestly.
Yeah, same.
Almost a double-double against basically Yaxel. To me was a very good game.
Ooh, a foot.
I I don't wish it, but I wanted a better outcome from them jumping together. I really did.
I feel like it was too much of a stalemate. Like no one won. It was just like,
Yeah. Honestly, it felt like that happened, and then they would both just like tap each other's butt and be like, good shit.
yeah,
Like, respect. Most people don't jump with me. Yeah, for sure. Most people don't try and dunk on me. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, so what top coat do you use?
All right.
One of them,
I knew you were gonna get.
you know?
Oh man.
Scott's gonna start, it sounds like.
Yeah. Um,
Did you like Izzo basically burning Divine Ugachukwu after the game at the podium?
I mean, not really. Like, but also like I've been in a certain spot with Divine. Like I appreciate the random moments, but like he's Divine Ugochukwu.
He's shooting 44% from three this year. He's second in the conference in three-point shooting in conference only games.
What's his name?
Divine Ugachukwu.
Never forget that's who it is.
Yeah. He's been, I think, really good this year. So
He
I don't know. I mean,
he
coming
has
off,
no, I think he has been. He's been good and he's had moments, but at the end of the day, he's Divine Ugochukwu.
he's I'm not saying Izzo's wrong, but I might be. He's coming off a game in which he finished with 9, 6, and 6.
Hmm.
Hit a game-saving shot. He has won you no less than 2 games this year.
Hmm.
As you try to hang in a conference race. He is second in the whole league in three-point shooting. And we're replacing him with a guy that is a 31% three-point shooter that in this game went 1 for 5 on wide open threes and fouled out because he looks the eye test better.
Yeah. Look, to me it's more of just like a rotating thing at the two guard spot. Maybe you want Divine off the bench because you could also bring him in just to take the backup point guard minutes, and then also he'll still play at the two. I mean, I really don't understand what it necessarily is, but this is when I say it, I'm not even meaning it like wow. This is just who Divine Uchuku is. Like he will have you a game here, and then he'll also do this. He did this for a while after the Penn State game. This is the exact same stat line we saw for like 4 straight games.
Yeah, I get it. his words after were basically, we've been wanting to make this change for a while, but we've been winning. That's me paraphrasing, but he basically, we've known some things for a while. Now we're going to make the switch. Scott's going to start. He says that 5 minutes after this game ends.
Yeah.
Um, Fine, I guess. I know the fan base loves Jordan Scott. I do think they can rally around him, and in the long term, he's obviously a better prospect than Divine. All I would caution is don't overreact to what you needed versus Michigan
Hmm.
as if that's what you need against other teams.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Divine's been very good, I think, this year.
You throw the very word on there?
I mean, he's second in the entire conference in three-point shooting, man. I just
I'm looking at the Big Ten.
sure.
Who's first?
You're losing a 13% drop from what Divine shot from three this year to Jordan Scott.
Who's first?
Doing this after a game where Jordan Scott missed a million open threes is also the weird timing to me. Like,
Very true. Who's
you might win this game if Scott makes those shots.
Yeah, I need to know who's first.
Let me look it up real quick. Oh, it won't let me sort. I don't have it for you.
Oh, I
It,
was gonna somehow pivot to this is Fletcher Lawyer's fault because he's slumping. Guys like Devon Ugochukwu are top three in the conference from three.
Probably like John Mobley or something would be my guess.
You know.
Maybe.
Also, do you have his attempts handy?
Divine?
Is he like like a three a game guy?
11 for 23 in conference. So 23 divided by 10,
11.
2.3.
Okay. I mean, the whole team's low volume outside of Kohler, it feels like.
He didn't play against Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, so it is 10 games.
Here's a number for you.
Oh, no.
Since since December started,
Hmm.
games that Divine Ugachukwu has played less than 12 minutes.
Hmm.
Michigan State's 0 and 3. Games that Divine has played 12 or more minutes. Haven't lost.
Those are numbers you should keep to yourself.
Chicken or the egg?
I got a response for you, though.
What do you have?
You want his Ken Pound player comps?
Yeah, please.
I don't know what any of these people are.
That gets you everything you need. You also got
Markel Starks.
you got Kyle Ahrens on your deep bench too.
Who's that?
Trey Fort's Kempon player comps. Kyle Ahrens.
No way.
Yeah.
So one of Izzo's most beloved players is the Ken Pound player comp that the player Izzo hits the most.
3 minutes. Did you notice him?
I did notice this, and you're not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me, but I swear to God, I mean this to you with everything. I love Gregory. I think Trey Ford hit some of them damn shots against that zone.
I do too. I was thinking it when Michigan was in it. I was like, I hope they don't actually like give him a chance.
Especially because it would have been a great moment. Like, oh, Trey Ford hasn't played all year or hit a three all year. All of a sudden he plays a zone and you got three of them upon your head top.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ford told you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Instead, nothing.
It's strange. Jesse McCulloch did have a couple good moments, I thought. A block, two boards, got a quick three up.
Quick three up in the corner. Good on him for getting that up and not pump faking. Did I talk about that yet?
No.
My team embarrassed themselves with how many pump fakes they took.
A lot of pumps, a lot of big closeouts, I would say. Just like shots that could have been shot that felt startled by a big closeout.
Right, which was like at this point, you pumping and trying to out athlete someone is not going to happen. Might
Yeah.
as well just try to get it up. But once again, like our best 3-point shooter, Jax, I love him to death. It's also like kind of it ain't quick. You know, he loads it up and you got 6'10", 260 chiseled flying at you, jumping at you, closing out at you. It's a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at the long portion of this. We should probably wrap soon, but I do want to say that I thought for a game between the quote unquote number one versus number two defense, I felt this mostly lived up to that.
Hmm.
Like I thought Michigan's defense was the story early. I thought Michigan State's defense actually did enough to win the game until the final 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you look up again, it was a tie game with just under 6 minutes left.
Hmm.
9 consecutive possessions with points for Michigan.
Right. Cheddar three, Cadau three. I think Cadau maybe had a layup somewhere in there, possibly.
Kase in three,
Mason
Merez
three.
dunk,
Merez dunk. Merez
Yaxel downhill,
the pocket pass finished to Merez.
Yaxel downhill to his right, and then free throws.
That move by Yaxel was Yaxel's so athletic, but he moves so funny sometimes. He moves like an
You
old man.
you tweeted something where you said if I speak. Was that about Cohen?
I was doing it to play both sides.
Meaning what?
I was like, Cohen, what the fuck? And then I was like, also, Yaxel traveled his ass off.
Oh, I didn't even notice, did he?
Well, Ant Wright will be coming out with an audit soon, and we'll look at it. But it looked like a travel.
Okay. I look forward to the audit. Yeah, I
Successful Ant Wright game, to be honest. I don't know if we're giving him enough credit in this rivalry. The audit on this game is going to go stupid.
there was a lot of, I would say, loud performances from figures in the rivalry, including, I mean, you and I came to serious personal words exchange fighting. Ant, classic, audit, slow mo. I thought Talks Hoops commentary was amazing. I thought Spiro has basically turned into quality dairy Pablo Torre this week, which was really nice. So yeah, tune in this summer for the full story on other coaches not liking Dusty May. Could I speak on that for a moment?
Mhm.
I love Spiro. I really do. And I hope Spiro listens to these still. I know he texts me about them occasionally. He was texting me last week like, damn, State fans really hate you. I was like, yeah, they do. Um, I asked if I could call him on Friday when he started the tweeting about Dusty tampering.
Mhm.
And he said he was too busy. And I was like, okay, damn, catch up soon, whatever. I think he said catch up soon. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Fast forward, they lose. He's like doubling, tripling down, building momentum in terms of like Dusty's tampering. Wait till I expose this. And I think we're on record with this, or at least I'll speak for myself here. I think Spiro actually is like pretty amazing as an investigative journalist. Like what he just did with the Sharon story was like insane.
No, he did that. Like he did that was a national story.
Yeah, like I truly, in general, I'm like a fan of Spiro's, and I understand that's supposedly controversial in this world. Whatever, I'm speaking for myself. Um, I don't know what he's doing with this one, and it does kind of, as a Michigan fan, it makes me nervous because I'm like, he must have something, but it seems to me, from based on what he's like hinting at, the story here is just Dusty May tampered with players and opposing coaches are angry with him.
Mhm.
To which my answer is like, of course, yes, duh. Like, is that some big reveal?
Mm-mm.
I'm just kind of, I don't know what we're waiting on that. If we're waiting on it, like that's obviously what happened.
Yeah. I mean, what if I could speak to what this is me guessing. Is he saying like because I don't even know what's legal or illegal anymore.
It's
Like,
all
is there, huh?
everything he I think could be accused of here is legal within the college basketball realm.
That's what I'm guessing. I listen. I don't. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, is there illegal tampering that I don't know about?
Well,
Like, is there?
he had some tweet about they contacted Braden Smith at the Big Ten tournament. Probably. Like I seriously, probably. And I understand like Tom Izzo hates him. That's fair. He should hate him. I understand if what we're saying here happened, Matt Painter probably doesn't like him. I think Mick Cronin alluded to the fact that Mick Cronin doesn't like him, and Mara's at Michigan. None of that's a surprise at all. Dusty is far from the only coach that is operating this way, if this is how he's operating. I, again, in the NIL portal era, believe this is allowed. Like, I know we're changing the rules to like say there's a dead period now or whatever, like the season ends and then the portal starts.
Mhm.
Last year, you could portal anytime. So, like, we had coaches, including Dusty May, working the portal while coaching a Sweet 16 game.
Mhm.
So, like, as a fan, do I think it's like amazing and love it? Not saying that, but I want the best transfers available, and I believe my coach is getting them in various ways while simultaneously hurting some interconference rivals. Like, and lastly on this, again, I'm open. Maybe Spiro has some big thing I don't know about. I hope I can talk to him in here, or I hope he comes forward with whatever the full story is, if there is something juicy here that is unknown. Going through the guys that Michigan brought in quickly, Mara, Yaxel, Cadau, Merez. And then you can use quote unquote Braden Smith as the fifth one if Spiro's reporting here is correct here. Is the insinuation that all five of these guys were super happy where they were at and going to return, and then Dusty like broke into their house and stole them?
To be honest with you, I don't know if I can give you an answer.
Is that your interpretation of how Yaxel and Merez and Cadeau and Mara left their various programs? That them and their coaches were very happy together and that Dusty ripped those marriages apart like a mistress?
Oh, no, I feel like those guys were unhappy and they left. I mean that the did you see the clip? I mean, the only thing I'm still waiting for Spiro to like come out with all this, and I'm assuming he's going to. And right now he's doing like the like leading build up to it portion of it. Um, the Braden Smith one's like been known. Like, didn't Braden himself like come on and say like, yeah, they were doing it, or like not? He didn't say them specifically, but like he said he was tampered with.
So all of this stuff is like rumor mill level known, at least to what he's said so far, which again, Spiro probably has more details than anybody else does.
You
I'm
see
not,
that? And you see that? Do you see the Andy Kennedy clip?
yeah.
He took that Epstein files line was insane.
So can I go through all five of these though quickly? I did like again, I want to maybe I'm on trial from my head coach here.
Mhm.
Adai Mara was scapegoated by Mick Cronin for an entire year.
Yeah.
Adai Mara was a former lottery pick projected player that was not even draftable by the time last season ended. His agency's representation was reaching out to schools.
Hmm.
Merez Johnson was signed to return to Illinois. He was. Then what happened, Cart? They signed Tomislav Ivicic for more money.
Hmm.
Then the Johnson family got unhappy and started asking around if other schools would pay them more. Elliot Cadau signed 48 hours after Michigan's season ended last year. Is that because Dusty had signed Elliot Cadau in February? Or is that because Elliot Cadau and his agency and team knew that they were leaving North Carolina and had been already reaching out to schools to find a new home as quickly as possible? Yaxel Lendeborg. This one is ridiculous. Did UAB, is the insinuation that UAB's head coach thought Yaxel Lendeborg was going to return to UAB?
Actually, I think I saw underneath it that clip was out of context.
Okay.
Like that clip was from the year before they lost Yaxel.
Okay. Well, I saw at least one of Spiro's tweets just named the head coach as like he's mad at him like Underwood. Yaxel Lendeborg was going pro, had already left UAB, by the time that Michigan contacted him, the same time that Mark Pope contacted him, and other big spending college basketball schools were all trying to get the kid at the combine.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I think to me, I feel like people are trying to look at this as like a breaking the rules or not breaking the rules, where all this is at least this is me guessing. Once again, Spiro can come out and say whatever he said. This is
yeah.
Spiro being like, "Hey, he tampered," and people are like, "I hate tampering," and then people are like, "Well, yeah, like it's just like saying he tampered, like just putting the label on him as a tamperer, which there's a lot of coaches that do it."
Maybe I'm confusing Spiro's like commentary here as if it's reporting also, but his past successes as an investigative reporter just make me think he's propositioning this as if there's a big reveal coming. Um, and lastly, on like the Braden one seems like it might be the big reveal. Like, did you know that Dusty tried to pay Braden Smith? I think number one, the answer is yes. A lot of people know that. Number two, he's not the only one. Number three, we do a pod with the guy. I'm not going to speak on anything that we shouldn't hear, but I think it's pretty well documented at this point. Braden was never going to leave,
Yeah.
but maybe people around Braden were open to seeing what's out there. I don't think that he was like locked away without being open to picking up the phone here. Like it was well documented that Purdue had to keep him
Hmm.
from a lot of schools because certain people around the recruitment were open to it.
Yeah.
That's not a Dusty May specific thing here. And on that note, again, if we're doing big investigative reporting on this, there's a number that the floor general was offered from a non-Michigan school. He never entered the portal.
Mhm.
I would assume that everyone involved in these Dusty conversations knows that one.
Mhm.
Are we ever going to hear about that one? Or are we not? I don't know. But like, if there's insinuation that Dusty is a one of one tamper here, I am very curious what it is.
No, he's just I think he lose my damn voice on this. He is a tamper. He is a coach that tampers. That's all it is, really.
And the old school coaches are allowed to hate it. That's fine. But as
Yeah.
far as I know, it's not against the rules at all. It's what teams with new age coaches are doing to win national championships.
Mhm.
I think Todd Golden did similar to win a national championship a year ago. So I don't know.
Did he?
Feel like any portal heavy roster in recent years has probably gone down this path. Yeah.
That's right. That's true. True.
But again, this is all said as a Spiro guy. I hope that this reads as like a promotion for whatever his. I don't know if there's a piece coming or something or what on this, but even just his Twitter, like clearly he's an entertaining dude. Go follow Spiro. But I'm like, should I be nervous as a Michigan fan that's waiting for the pin to drop here?
Not unless there's like rules we don't know about.
Yeah. If Spiro cost me Dusty May, I don't know if I'd ever get over it.
Statue.
He's also costing North Carolina Dusty May. I thought Spiro was a Carolina guy.
I think it's a couple there, but if he does that, I think he gets a statue, which right now, kind of under investigation. I kind of wanted Sharon to stay at Michigan,
Yeah.
but I know he had to do it.
Yeah, it was great reporting. It really was. And this might be like I'm ready to hear it, but I am confused on
Are you ready to hear it? Because you know.
well, that's I just yeah, I think I know the facts of all of these things.
Yeah.
So like if the allusion to all these are the five things that Dusty broke the rules on, it's like Maybe I don't know the rules.
I for sure don't know the rules.
Yeah, I don't either.
I watched Charles Bediako and James Najee earlier this week.
Very true. So, okay. Love you, Spiro.
I'm pro Tampa, by the way.
After all that.
I've, aren't we like a pro Tampa podcast?
FBI, baby. Rid the game.
No, our podcast has always been pro Tampa.
Rid the game of the evil tamperers, please. Get us back to it'd just be Tom Izzo and well, no, Rick Pitino tampers now. It'd just be Tom Izzo and Mick Cronin coaching against each other in a championship.
And Matt Painter isn't tamper.
No, never.
Never, no,
You're right.
no. Also, talking about you don't tamper. You and I just spent like 20 minutes ago. You tampered with Merck.
Yeah, I tamper all the time.
Oh, okay.
That's speaking on behalf of me. Yeah. A huge tamper guy myself. Quick handshake line.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Um, I just don't think Izzo messes with Dusty.
Because of the tamper thing.
Not even that. I feel like just in general.
Yeah, I mean, last year was bad from that.
Also think this is part of the this is part if this ends up being and I don't know how much longer Izzo's gonna coach and maybe things change, but didn't you point out the fact that like at first Izzo didn't mess with Beeline?
I just think he didn't know Beeline, but it was definitely like a frigid, like there were no kind words said out loud with
Yeah.
Beeline.
I just feel like Izzo's grumpy, and I say this as lovingly and as my coach. I feel like he's grumpy old man a little bit.
Yeah.
And probably a little bit of like loss, way he lost, tiny bit of sore loser, but also a tiny bit of like, I just don't like this guy.
Yeah. That tracks.
Yeah, because you know he's the president. He stands for everything.
Yeah.
Dusty didn't consult Izzo before he tampered.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do feel like we're fully back in a these guys hate each other spot in the rivalry, which is scary and fun and makes for a good rivalry, I guess.
Ooh, handshakes.
Yeah. My interpretation of the quick handshake line was Izzo hates Dusty. Dusty hates Izzo. Dusty got his first win in the rivalry and wanted a nice extended slap on the arm handshake.
Mm-hmm.
And Izzo said, fuck that, I'm getting out of here.
You think the timeout had anything to do with it?
Could be, for sure.
I didn't even notice in the moment that happened. I was sad at this point.
Yeah. Dusty claims he took the time out to tell his guys no riffraff.
Oh,
That was his words. I will say there was an extreme absence of riffraff in this
yeah,
game
a riffraff.
from one side.
Yeah, it's a couple riffraff from my side.
But, ooh, riffraff. Like Dusty probably brought him in the huddle, like, no riffraff. And Yax was like, whoa.
Come on.
Ah, cute snap. Um, so I had a song written and then we fought. Doesn't feel all that appropriate now. It's 1:30 in the morning.
I like a song.
You want tune?
Yeah,
All right,
it
here's
feels like a good ending.
this feels like maybe we go back to normal if I just sing a song.
Song always brings people together.
Yeah, this is gonna be, I think, my least inspired vocal performance ever on the channel, though. It doesn't feel right. But
You want to save it?
no, because it's good. That's the problem. And the time would pass and it wouldn't be worth it anymore. I think I gotta do it, sadly. All right. This is in the artistic stylings of do you know Quinn? Quinn 92?
Yeah.
Former Michigan State Spartan, Quinn.
Mm.
Yeah. It's a song called Tough by Quinn.
Mm.
Is your coach aware that he starts divine Ugachukwu? When your front court sees 7 feet, they don't know what to do. Does your small forward who paints his nails still watch Blue's Clues? Your point guard is good, but he falls to the ground. Sometimes he yells when there's no one around. Why didn't Denim check in? That shit's a disgrace. Last year's banner was entirely Jace. You're not so tough. I know that nightlight's on when you sleep. You're not so tough. Yeah, you got one guy who can make threes, and I'm sure you'd win in an altercation, but that still won't help you beat me, so mess me up. I know you're not so tough.
It unfortunately was pretty special in my
There's a
opinion.
second verse. Yeah.
Oh,
Is the logo accessible, or do you still kiss that? It was Elliot Cadau's composure that was the mismatch. I got a short list of new tampered targets that you'll get pissed at. Your culture is cool, but you still gotta hoop. We get it, you hate us. Ooh, alley-oop. Why can't you just out-tough the great teams that you play? You're one true tough guy. Plays for Will Wade. You're not so tough. I know that nightlight's on when you sleep. You're not so tough. Sing with me. Hey, you got one guy who can make threes, and I'm sure you'd win in an altercation, but that still won't help you beat me, so mess me up. We all know you're not so tough. That's all.
unfortunately, even at my expense, that was pretty special.
Shout out to the jig. You win that game with jig.
Yeah,
You don't think so?
we have a chance to win it, whereas we didn't have one in this one down the stretch.
Do we have an official ruling on what wins, talent or toughness, coming out of this?
Oh, talent. Score one for talent.
Hot take?
What?
It was toughness that won.
All right. What kind of Disney movie bullshit is this? But in the end, wasn't it talent and
Who
toughness?
was the tougher team?
Huh?
I don't want to argue for another 2 hours. Who was the tougher team in this game?
Y'all were.
It was some Disney bullshit, though. It was actually.
Yeah.
Do you like your chances in Ann Arbor?
Not necessarily, no.
I don't think I came out of this game feeling like you can't beat us, though.
Yeah, I think both can work as tandem. Like I feel like, yeah, I wouldn't be like, I don't think it's like a shock the world David versus Goliath thing if we beat y'all, but it's hard to come in like like, oh yeah, we're about to go up in Chrysler and win after what I just saw.
I mean, one thing you got to say, despite whatever happened early and late, obviously, coming back from down 16 was like wildly impressive.
Facts.
And it was largely like defend, rebound, run, toughness.
With a little sprinkle of Dusty trying shit. Thank you, Dusty.
Yeah. Like, honestly, narratively, game kind of lived up to everything. Ooh, talent. Ooh, toughness. Anyone's game. Dusty kind of losing his mind. Fears. Whack. Everybody kind of did their thing, you know?
Yeah, I played the hits. No
There
pun
were
intended.
there were hits.
They were hits.
Why was it not fun though?
It
Because
was
like it wasn't a fun game
no.
for anyone.
And I have an argument that it wasn't fun either way.
Okay,
Like the outcome of this wouldn't have actually changed the fun scale.
got it. I think the recap would have been significantly more fun with significantly less fighting if it flipped.
No, I don't. You know what? I disagree.
Do you?
I disagree because I feel like the whole conversation would have been very fear centric after a win, which I would have had to like like how even like navigate that.
Yeah.
It would have went like the Conspiracy video went.
Probably,
You
yeah.
couldn't even talk about that Michigan State win.
Yeah. That was hard. He only played like 8 minutes.
Yeah, but like that was a big. But like I'm saying, that wasn't fun for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back, I guess.